Futures back in positive territory this morning, coming off the tech-led sell-off we saw on Wednesday. All three markets looking pretty good right now, about 0.8% for the S&P as we digest the latest batch of corporate earnings. Strength in airlines this morning, strength in EV stocks this morning, obviously coming off a blowout quarter for Tesla, $18 billion. For Tesla, it's an unbelievable number once again, and they're still talking about further growth to come. We'll have a look at Tesla, but all the EV space in positive territory this morning. One thing of note, this afternoon at 1 p.m., we're going to get comments from Fed Chair Powell. He'll be speaking at a conference, so the market will be watching that very closely ahead of the next Fed meeting coming up in May. Weekly jobless claims just out there. Looks like a little bit higher than expected. Overall, the market pretty quiet. Not really any reaction really to that. As I mentioned, some airline earnings, AAL, UAL both beat. We'll get Snapchat after the close tonight. Should be interesting. And Netflix, more negativity, more negative analyst moves as well. Back to the downside for Netflix. It's Thursday, April 21st, 2022. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Nice look to start things off right now. Right across the board, 1.2% for the NASDAQ there, the Dow and S&P. In positive territory, a little bit of a reversal from what we saw at the end of the day yesterday. 0.3% here for the TSX in Toronto. Brazil's open, trading lower. Crude back to the upside. Bitcoin and Ethereum back to the upside as well. Continuing this trend we've seen over the past couple of days of following the overall market and specifically tech stocks in general. Good morning, guys. Arun back with us once again. It's Tesla day, but maybe we could start things off, I guess, with Bill Ackman taking a bit of a hit on his Netflix position. $400 million hit, in fact. If you remember going back to, I think it was 2 months ago, he got into that huge position when it fell initially and had to get out of that yesterday on that huge move. As we said, you know, Sean, you were talking about a lot of people are going to get blown out on a move like that.
Yeah, actually, hey, Brandon, what's up? Yeah, I mean, we talked about that yesterday with Bill Ackman. I was like, oh, well, so it's me and Bill Ackman going there and buying this name. And I guess he was kind of doing the opposite there, but I don't think so. I think that he's probably, again, you know, disclosed his position, this and that. I'm looking for a blowout bottom in Netflix, and I've actually tweeted that out now that we're going to be talking about something here. I was just watching Tesla right now. Tesla just made a nice little move through 1050 up to 1060 right there. So a nice little move upside on that. And hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show again. Shout out to all of our regular viewers there I see in the chat. Whoa, I just made this bigger. There it is. Yeah, what's up to everybody there? Playmaker, Mike, Valeria, Elizabeth Goodyear, everybody in there. Alan Newton, what's up? Good morning to everybody. Sonic, what's up? What's up to John? People that I've noticed in here before, let's just say what's up. What's up, Real Idiot as well. Good name there. But yeah, okay, let's go. Oh, by the way, what a great, I mean, I was at the Raptors game. They lost yesterday. Shout out to all the Philly fans out there. But what a great game that was. That was a fantastic game. I was glad to be there. The energy in the building was huge. I mean, I didn't think we were going to beat Philly in the first. I have them winning the East. So, but I was really happy to be there. It was a fantastic game. Great times with friends, so it was a fantastic time. But okay, so what I was getting at with Netflix yesterday was just this. Like, what about the fact that it did 130 million shares yesterday? And then what about this bottom? So this is what I want to look at. I want to look at this 212 coming in here. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think this is going to be some sort of a capitulated bottom there. So what I've done today is, first of all, I bought yesterday, so that's great. We're in the money. We actually bought pretty low there. But now we'll wait to see what happens at this 212 level again. I feel like you get second day moves. Obviously, we talked about buying this on the third day. Yesterday's dip was definitely, for me, a buying opportunity. We'll see what happens today when it comes back up to 220 now. But I think we're going to retest some of those bottoms. So what I have right now is I actually have a bid on Netflix down near 213, just so we can get lit up if it comes back down here, and just a small amount of shares. And then I want to see what happens when it breaks, if and or tests that 212 area. So my play for Netflix is going to be, let's try to find a bottom, as simply as put as that can be. Let's see if we can find a bottom in this name. Let's not go fishing like we did yesterday with Facebook and we just started to, take it on the way down. Let's kind of do what we did with Netflix yesterday when we went short through 250, held it all the way back down, eventually got filled at that 220. So that was a good little $30 move for us all the way to the downside, but we held it out and we waited for it. So let's try to be a little more patient today. The NASDAQ just dumped a little bit here. So if Netflix does get some follow-through selling today, which it may eventually get, I want to be long that name, Netflix. And don't worry, we're going to talk about Tesla. Everything's on here, but I just want to bring in Netflix because you talked about Bill Ackman there. And I feel like, and I know I said this before, and I can't keep saying this all the time, but their market cap isn't huge anymore. We talked about consolidation, Arun, in the industry. We talked about all the different options there are right now. Is Netflix possibly primed for a takeover target? We'll see. I don't know if they would ever get accepted, but I think an Alphabet, somebody that has crazy advertising potential, that's the problem with Netflix apparently, is they're trying to go for maybe an ad-supported situation or version for Netflix. Can they possibly be bought out? Can Apple get it done? Combine the two services? Is there something about that? So that's sort of something on my mind right now. How are you doing today?
Just looking for some names to trade. As you can see, my board has already 3 shorts on it. If you're wondering how I'm feeling about Netflix, yeah, I'm trying to work the short side. It's out right now, but I'm trying to work my shorts against that 220. I think for me, it was that 220 area, right? We were kind of just drifting into the afternoon until we hit that buy side imbalance right at the end there. And then I'm coming in this morning and I'm watching Netflix and that's the Tesla chart. I'm watching Netflix and I'm just like, okay, we're losing 220 again. So here we are kind of working through here. I was like, you know what, let's just get into it. 218, I'm happy with 218 against the 222. Put up $4, see what it's got. $4 could get very slippery on to Netflix, but at the same time, we're underneath 220, which has been a problem yesterday. So that gives me some confidence in the short, but for the time being, we are out of it. But again, we've seen Netflix go absolutely nuts at the open. It's going to come down to the imbalance, the NASDAQ opening imbalance on Netflix, which comes in at 9:25 a.m. Eastern time, and then the opening move, right? And yesterday, when we were falling off, and I was like, this angle is too systematic, something isn't right about the way that Netflix was moving, because the angle, you can't maintain that angle, no human can do that. Well, lo and behold, we find out Bill Ackman dumping, right? So that algorithmic selling is very obvious when you break it down in terms of volume and angle of movement. And that's what you were seeing yesterday morning. And here we are. This is going to be a free flow move now that that's out of the way. If you get another wave of selling like that, yeah, this thing, 200 might be in trouble. But for now, we'll just keep an eye on 220 and how this is going to work around this price point, because I think that's going to be critical given the support that we saw around here yesterday.
Hey guys, good morning. Today is the Tesla day, and here we have a super chat from Bratishka saying, hello Arun and Sean, greetings from Switzerland. Tesla 1,150 today. Yes sir, I would love to see that. I'm definitely long biased, and guys, have a successful day. Smash the like button and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, lots to get through here, including more on Tesla coming up here, more on Mullen, all automotive, more news for Mullen this morning, back to the upside. There's a ton of other earnings. We'll get into all the big ones, obviously, but I wanted to mention a few of the other companies that reported as well. XRX, Xerox, down significantly here. Lower Q1 revenue. Their chart pretty ugly so far this morning. There's a bunch of other names of note as well, including AT&T reported, Blackstone with a decent report. We have both AAL and UAL on watch this morning, both with better than expected forecasts going forward, talking about profitability once again in the current quarter for airlines. So XRX to the downside, but travel stocks pretty strong so far.
I mean, I haven't heard anyone even say the name Xerox in forever. Yo, what's up? Raheem is in the building. Yeah, that's good. I'm excited for that. But yeah, Xerox down 17% right now. nasty, nasty move. I mean, like I said, 120,000 shares starting to break out to the downside. This is a name that I want to get short for sure here, Xerox today. It's not on the sticky note, but we've broken way out, man. 1750, now downside down to 1650. Xerox continues to puke. But wow, what a great day, Arun, for American Airlines. And it's actually funny, I believe, and he'll probably tell me I'm wrong on this one, but I thought last time Raheem was here, as I'm looking for my airline GIF right now, I thought that we talked a little bit about Air Canada and whatnot. So you're seeing now today American Airlines starting to pick up nicely from some of those bottoms. A big, huge quarter. They're on the sticky note today for American Airlines. They're looking to turn profit in the next quarter, and they absolutely smashing returns for American Airlines here. For shareholders, not for the company yet. But nice move up here, up to 21 and change, looking to break out. I mean, it's already breaking out, but I feel like we're going to have some support back down here around 2050. We'll talk more about this as the day goes on. But wow, what a great quarter for American Airlines, now officially breaking out. We've talked about this, man. I said that the other day when we had Delta. Remember Delta came out and it was like a booming to the upside, and then yesterday we told you Delta had like 7 or 8 straight upside days. And look at American today, 8 million shares bumping around some of these levels. And here's the daily that we're talking about, and here's the breakout. It's already trying right now to take out this 2220 area. That's a level that I'm looking at right here, 2220. We're only at 2136, but this is where we're talking about. Back into here, into 20. And then, I don't know, I just kind of picked this middle of the range here, 2050, see if that's going to be some kind of support. But I really like AAL. I think it's breakout time, and it's party on, Garth, for this one. AAL, I have 2050 there. We'll see if we can get it back to 2050. If not, we're going to probably have to play a pre-market breakout on the high. The high right now, 2190. So I think we're going to have to bust through that on AAL. Jets ETF, we've been pumping that. Not the team, Arun, not the New York Jets. But I have Zach Wilson in Football Dynasty. I know this, you know. Yeah, number 2 overall pick. I think Zach Wilson could have a good year. And yes, I am talking up my own fantasy football team. So are you looking at AAL or anything?
Not yet. I haven't gotten around to it. There's so much to look through.
Yeah,
between the list that Brendan puts out, between the earnings calendar, from last night and this morning, there's a lot of choices. As you can see, I've already picked 3. I've also, just to put things in perspective, I've got 3 fills. Tesla. I've got 4 more pending, waiting to get filled, and I'm still looking, and I haven't even gotten through half of the list yet. So this is going to be an exciting morning if I get these positions. If this market rallies up a little bit more, I'm probably getting some of these some more of these fills on the short side.
Before we go back to Brendan, I'm just going to go Superman because Ms. V and Tesla. Tesla right now, guys, is going hard. Tesla up to 1070 right now. Tesla's just moved up, Brendan, $20 in a matter of 10 minutes. So Tesla right now going up to the upside. It's getting squeezed out. People getting squeezed out of their shorts probably. Not only that, I wonder if people are caught offsides. Netflix was so bad yesterday, guys, that I'm wondering if people are caught offside on some of their Tesla positions right now, thinking the worst was in the that for them. Obviously, you come at the king, you get burned. Their factories are well outpacing all these other EVs. GM's factory, and I heard Guy Adami talk about this on another station. He's like, Tesla's factories look like the Terminator. Like it's all robotic. It's all everything. And Ford, GM, and all these plants look like they're still stuck in the 80s. Although Terminator, I think, was an 80s movie anyways. But, looking like they're not even close. So let's wait to see what's happening with Tesla here. Wait till they get all their plants firing. We have some stuff to talk about, but right now we're going to go back to Brendan with our guest.
All right, yes, as promised, Raheem Alani, Managing Director of OCI Groups, back in the building with us this morning to talk about some Canadian opportunities. We're going to talk a little bit about EV on a different angle, but also cannabis, obviously coming off of 420 yesterday. Lots of interesting names that some of which I bet you have not heard of yet. So great to have you back in the building with us once again. It's been, I mean, I was off, for a week and a half, but it's been a while, it seems.
Yeah,
So
it's been a month. You guys locked me out, but I was watching the broadcast the other day. I saw the back door to get back in, so I snuck in. I hope you guys are okay with that.
Of course.
Sean told me how to get in the back door, so I'm back in the building now. Tony told me the secret door, so I'm back in.
They changed the security system in our building here, going back a month or so ago. Anyways, let's jump into a few interesting names, mostly going to be on this side of the border. A few are dual listed. We'll mention some in the rare earth space, though. We've had massive moves going back a month or 2 months ago on some funding coming from the U.S. government. There are a number of individual plays on this side of the border that we can look at in the rare earth space. What is interesting to you right now?
Well, I think just like you just talked about with Teslas and with everything that's happening in other parts of the world where rare earths are found, Canada is going to be a place that people are going to come to inevitably for mining. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects, obviously on the larger cap side, but in our fun world, we like to talk small caps. So
right.
Yeah.
So the first one, SMY, which is going to be on the Venture Exchange here in Toronto.
Yeah. So SMY, they're up 20% over the month. The chart's looking okay. Their ADV is around 125,000. They raised $2.5 million just a little while ago when the stock hit 30 cents. They put out news on new estimates that they've got in ground, and they got four properties that they're focusing on. They did an offtake with a company called USA Rare Earth. So somebody believes in something that they're doing. So that's sort of where they are right now, and it's just a nice little small cap name if you want to take a look at.
And is this a diversified miner, like more than one different metal or a specific metal?
No, they have I think 4 different metals that they're looking at right now.
Great. So SMY and then API, which is on the CSE here in Toronto as well.
Yeah. And just going back to your comment in terms of the number of metals, there's 17 different metals that make up the rare earths, right? So a company like API is actually they had been more focused on uranium, and then as you look for things, you end up finding other things in the world of mining. So they're up 30% over the last couple months. They do about 300,000 shares a day. They've got properties in the Athabasca Basin, which is big for uranium, and then also on the Elliott Lake side in Ontario. So they started some drilling, and they raised a couple $1 million, about $8 million 6 months ago. So that takes them into a good cash position, and they're going to keep drilling for assets.
And I mean, just note, 2 charts. So we'll look at a daily chart here for API as well. But I mean, this is a little bit better off than the overall market has been. Yeah. If you go back to the beginning of the year, I mean, lots of opportunities in the space, as we say. 420 yesterday, we talked about it in depth. Tesla Day obviously has to be on 420 as well, but that's another story. Let's talk about some interesting ideas here when it comes to cannabis. The big story going back, last month and the month before that was the legalization story that was floating around in the U.S. that has kind of been, put on the back burner, it would seem, or shelved at least for now. But more to come.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the case, the prevailing case with the U.S. names. It's sort of every week, every month, every 2 months, there's a new something's going to come out, whether it's the MORE Act, whether it's Chuck Schumer's going to do something. So it's going to be interesting to see when and where they actually do come to fruition on some of these U.S. plays. And the way the stock world works is if you've got access to U.S. assets, dispensaries, the multi-state operators, obviously where everybody wants to be. So if you've got U.S.-based opportunities, then you'll start to see some of the moves on the potential of what's going to come politically.
So what is Ascend Wellness? Tell us about this AAWH.
Yeah, so Ascend, they're, like I said, it's if you want to be in that multi-state operator, you want to be in a variety of states that are coming online, obviously medicinally, and then going into potential rec markets, right? So, so Ascend, they just completed a $55 million acquisition in Pennsylvania of a company called Story. Story's going to allow them to be vertically integrated in Pennsylvania, so they're going to go all the way from cultivation through to dispensary on their own. Pennsylvania is the 5th largest state from a population point of view, and they are predicting that it's going to be a $1.6 billion medical market there. So just in that one state. So you're going to spend that money on building out the facility and then getting all the way up through into dispensaries.
Just to clarify, I mean, I said, the legalization aspect of it kind of shelved in the U.S. for the time being, but I mean, it still has to go through the Senate. That's kind of what I was referring to. So, I mean, more to come as far as the legalization efforts go. The next one is going to be TerraSend Corporation, which is also here in Toronto primarily. Do they have an OTC? I feel like they might.
Yeah, I believe they do. So TerraSend is one that we've talked about before. They actually just, I think it was last time we talked about cannabis, made the acquisition of a company called Gage Cannabis out of Michigan. So they added another acquisition in Michigan. They bought 5 new stores. They've been initially founded by a private equity gentleman out of New York, and they've just continued to add and add and add on the U.S. side. This new one, again, $28 million, 5 stores. It takes them up to 17 stores in Michigan, 32, I believe, in the U.S. And they actually just did another one in Maryland a couple of weeks prior for $11 million. So they're going into these states that are, again, getting more active on the rec side. Maryland, I believe it's November 1st, is going to have a ballot on whether they're going to go rec as well in state. So TerraSend is one of those plays that they're into a number of states, and as they continue to grow into those numbers of states where there is the potential for legal, you may want to start just to look at that from an investment point of view. Another
decent looking chart that's holding up pretty well so far this year. Sean just letting me know here, TRSSF on the OTC for that one. And then the next two here, maybe we can get through Hexo and Tilray. Obviously, everybody knows both at this point, but anything new and exciting coming from Hexo or Tilray?
Yeah, so I guess they're sort of, I think the way it's going to go for Hexo and Tilray, they're sort of going to be married as people speak about them because of the deal that's been done, and they're going to own 35% of it. So once the deal went definitive last week, the stock bumped. Just on the fact that that deal is getting done. Hexo did have a big loss in the last quarter that ended, I think their quarter was February 28th. They had an impairment loss of $616 million, which was a bit large. So they had a $690 million loss, but they did bump revenues up year over year from 33 million to 52. Tilray had 52 million in profit versus a loss same time last year, 150 million in revenue. Both of them have traded well in the last couple of weeks. Now, there has been some rumors about Tilray being on a short squeeze, and so that's why you may have seen a little bit more activity on the Tilray side in the last probably week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, you can see the volume down here is what we're referring to there. So. A couple of other ones here that are interesting in the sense that, you know, we talked a little bit earlier in the year about the continued kind of consolidation in this sector as well. Both of these, Fire and Flower, one of them, Organigram, the other one, have been mentioned kind of just in passing as, you know, maybe potentials in that case.
Yeah, no, I think that's, again, that's the way the cannabis market's going to go. It's going to be that continued consolidation. There's going to be divestiture of assets because these companies are going to need to raise capital as well. So it's going to be divestiture of assets, whether it's a farm, whether it's a grow, whether it's some of these retail opportunities. And because the equity markets are a little tight for cannabis names as they've been in the past. And so then the debt market's obviously another place that people will go. So I think these ones are going to be interesting. Fire and Flower I thought might be interesting because Element and Couche-Tard, ACT, which is a massive conglomerate, they just exercised some warrants and now they've taken their stake up another 14%. So they now own 35% of Fire and Flower. So, I mean, you drive down the street, you're going to run into a Couche-Tard store. And if Fire and Flower is tied in with them, you've got to think there's some opportunities that are going to come.
A little more retail on that side as well. So great stuff. Lots of opportunities, guys, in the cannabis group going forward. As I said, though, I mean, a lot of this is going to depend on what happens when this bill gets to the Senate and, you know, if and when it gets through.
Sure.
Great stuff. Rahim Alani, Managing Director of OCI Groups here in Toronto. A pleasure. Thank you.
Anytime, sir.
Number of names there, Sean. I mean, we talk about cannabis all the time, but if you look at some of the smaller opportunities, maybe bigger opportunities to the upside to come.
Yeah, it's interesting, and thanks, Rahim, again, but excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really trust like a Fire and Flower type of name, the retail side of things. I don't really like anything to do with retail as far as cannabis is concerned. It's very competitive. I mean, Brendan and Rahim both mentioned there that you walk down the street in Toronto, and I feel like you see 2 or 3 dispensaries on each side of the road, to be honest with you. So I just think that there's going to be some sort of consolidation there. And if Fire and Flower, for sure, I mean, they may be one of the largest retailers here in Canada. I feel like I see them everywhere, but maybe there is some sort of a consolidation there. To me, I just want to stay with kind of the big names here if I can, and that's going to be just, I've lost, like, I own that TerraSend and stuff like that, and I actually made money in that name as well. But the thing about some of those smaller names is you really have to pick and choose, understand what you're talking about. I liked how Raheem was talking about the debt market, how equities have been sort of, flatlining a little bit here, and talking, more in depth about that. But when I look at a stock like Tilray or CGC, which is, of course, is Canopy, and I just see, like, and I say this all the time, it's almost like I'd rather just light the stocks on fire and smoke them myself than buy them. Because honestly, it's like you get these nice bump up here on the federal government, obviously in the States there, Arun, talking all about cannabis, and then it gets passed, quite frankly, and then everybody's like, well, it's never going to get through the Senate, so then down it comes again. Well, why did it go up in the first place if it was never going to get through the Senate, right? So for me, I'm a little frustrated with all of this. I'm a bag holder in the cannabis space, as I'm sure most people are, unless you've just been invested in the last 6 months, maybe you made some money, but it's been a tough ride, and that's why we have a guy like Raheem that comes on, highlights different opportunities in the space, maybe names that you're not used to, but that's why you got to do your own research, pick up your own names. But for me, I'm going to stay just long on, I only really have now Tilray. I do have some of that TerraSend, and I do have, there's one or two other ones, but Tilray, Canopy are the big holdings for me. Aurora, that's one that you might as well light on fire as well. That one's straight to the downside. So I don't know. I'm not super pleased with the way cannabis has been trading, and I'd rather just leave it alone until we get that big push on the Fed side there in the U.S. Other than that, I'm going to leave them, let it just boil at these levels. I'm not averaging it. I'm not doing anything. Cannabis to me is just something to enjoy and not to look at or invest in.
There was a time when it was hot. Everybody was on top of it, right? Obviously, the environment's a little bit different. People move on from one thing to the next, while the other, what you have left behind still sets up. And you just got to remember to come back to it and check in on it once in a while. So right now, everyone's on the EV train, or actually, no, EV train. Everyone was on the vaccine train, and now everyone's on the EV train. So we'll see how that one how far that one goes until cannabis kind of steps back into the limelight. Again, keep an eye on it, but don't forget about it. Put it aside, but don't forget about it, because there will come a time where it's hot again, where you just get back to it, trade, and then move on to the next hot thing. Talk about hot things.
Wait a second. You know what Toronto Tony would say?
What would he
say? Put the beer back in the fridge.
That's exactly.
Let it cool down. It's very, very lukewarm.
Yep.
The cannabis beer. But we're going to put that back in the fridge, like Tony was saying. And what were you saying about something that was hot?
Brendan.
Very hot, yep.
Like somebody said yesterday, thick Brendan summer here with the upgrades and downgrades.
He's got it over there. Let's go. Ford, what the?
All right, a few notable ones on here once again. Yeah, Ford, that side of the board today, along with Netflix. It's worth noting there's 3 or 4 additional negative notes on Netflix again today. Twitter on here, Lululemon, back to the downside, although it is positive right now. There's United. Yeah, we said nice look for airlines today, Tesla, PG, and First Solar, FSLR, back to the upside as well.
Just adding, you have a 7'2" as well. All right. Me and Raheem just talking about the Raptors there. Thank you, Raheem, for swinging by. We still can't believe that with 0.9 left on the clock, you get a 7'1" jump shooter hitting a fadeaway almost in the corner there and burying the Raptors. But a shout out to the Raptors. Good heart yesterday. And no Lakers. You cannot get Nick Nurse from us. He's going to be staying with us. And when, the thing is, this is supposed to be a Raptors run here. They weren't even really supposed to make the playoffs this year. Unfortunately, Scotty Barnes is missing as well. But yeah, great job for Philly. And like I said, they are my winners for the East. The Bucks did not look so good yesterday. Shout out to you, Dominic, and all my Wisconsin fellows there. But they did not look great yesterday against the Bulls. But wow, what a rivalry that is. Can you imagine? Chicago versus Milwaukee, that building must be insane. But I got to give a big shout out. That building yesterday at the Air Canada Centre, aka Scotiabank Arena, was bumping, and that was so much fun. Had a great time there yesterday, and hopefully, Arun, we can have just a good a time today. Did I saw today trading? I saw Ford on the downgrade list. That's not making me happy right there. But like I said, Ford, GM, sort of all of these, older names, legacy names in the automotive, they're not competing with Tesla. Let's just call it like what it is right now. We talked about the plants, how they're pumping out cars. Like they're talking about delivering 1.4 million cars next year from Tesla. Ford, these guys don't even, Ford, GM, they don't even have like an EV, or they have an EV division, but they're not even producing anything yet. I mean, small numbers, not looking like 1.4 million, not looking like 310,000 on deliveries for the quarter the way Tesla's doing it. So I understand how Ford's getting downgraded here. But if you look at the daily chart, we're off that 15. We've broken out through that 1580. I still like Ford here. Any kind of downgrade on that side of things, I'm not part of that. I think it's going to be a good stock here for the long run. They just got to get their act together, and they've sort of been doing that. Here's the 20-minute, and here's that break that we've been talking about right there, 1580. We really like that, but we're also not going to be afraid of the levels that we're coming into right now. That 1680 up to 17. We got to get through this area, and that's where we're coming through right now. 1640 right here, and this is what, I mean, my chart for some reason is taking years to load, but what I'm trying to get at is this little level right here. So just like we had a 1580 bottom there, stepped it up, like look, stairs, leveled off, staring up again. Now you have this 1640 level that we have to work through, and we're gonna open up right there. So let's see what happens. That's gonna be an area of concern for me, especially on that downgrade. If the S&P starts to come off today and more money moves, maybe from Ford, maybe from GM, from every EV name into the big daddy Tesla. And by the way, congratulations, Ms. V. That's right. You've already made a trade today, right? Yeah, Valeria already took, I think, $10 out of Tesla here today. So a big, how much? Yeah, $10 per share. Yeah, exactly. A nice little move there up to the upside. Yeah, we won't talk about how many shares, but a nice little move to the upside. I don't even care how many shares. Tesla just rocked to 1080, right back here to 1070. So a nice little trade there. We're ready to rock and roll here with Tesla today, guys.
All right, I don't know if Valeria wants to take a look. This is a huge shout out to Damian Stevens and his super chat there. I don't know if Valeria, if you want to take that and shout him out there. But jumping on board with us with the Netflix trade. Sean had it, I had it, and Damian Stevens clearly had it and made a decent amount there. Netflix, you don't get trades like that run that easily that often. Right, it's just one of those trades where if you can catch it, it's just easy money. And for everyone who caught it, shout out to you guys, because it's one, when it starts going like that, it's hard to be like, I mean, how far do I want to hold it? It's just like so much money on the table now. Do I want to keep holding it, or do I just want to cash out? So if you held it all the way down to 213, Damien, that's a crazy exit, because I got out north of 222. At 213, that's an impressive exit. Yeah,
that's and it was puts and everything like that. So I just want to say, I mean, I'll give it to Ms. V as well, but obviously, but thank you to Damien again. And you know what? To me, this is all really cool. It's great, but let's just read this out. Thank you for valuable insight and free education. Netflix short yesterday, 213, bought puts. $3.50 each, sold them for $40 each. So right there, that's a big one. That's a Yahoo. That's a backflip. That's a money spitting out. Thank you, Damien, for the super chat. And really, seriously, life-changing money. I mean, that's what we're talking about. And then I want to thank the Trader TV Live team as well myself. Thank you so much, guys, for allowing us to produce this show, bringing it to you. And there it is right there. And also, thanks for highlighting Sticky Note Nation. Damian Stevens, Valeria, what a great way to start the day.
Indeed, Damian Stevens, thank you so much for your super chat and generosity, guys. To see that you are having successful trades is the best reward for our community and Trader TV Live overall. And please, if you also want to support us, smash the like button. It's absolutely free. Subscribe to our channel. Help us to get 300,000 subscribers. And for sure, share this video with your friends and help us to become a better and greater community. Let's go to Brandon.
Unbelievable trade. Well done. Congratulations. That's impressive. Let's get into the overall market here. We'll have a look at the futures, get an idea of what we need to be aware of as far as levels are concerned. Brought to you today, once again, by the small exchange guys. They're making it easier to access futures markets with small, standard, and simple products. No pattern day trading. There's less capital involved. Check out the smallexchange.com for more details. Let's go to Arun.
All right, well, we wanted this trade yesterday, never got a chance to get that long in the 60s, never set up well enough, and it just kind of messed around until the end of the day, at which point, with the Tesla earnings coming out, you don't want to take a shot. I didn't want to take a shot or take that risk on the long, and then the market overnight just wouldn't give you that option to get that long, because, I mean, the low bid was around the European Open, which was around 2 a.m. Here we are, 70s. not even close. Even if I was here, I wouldn't have gotten a fill. And then here we are now trading just underneath 4,500. Now we've entered the second area up top here. Remember, we had to clear 65 to get the long going, and then we had to come back down, set up a long to get it up into this range. Now we're in the second range here, hence why I'm on the short side, because I am looking for a decent amount of sell side activity through this 4,500s. We can break 4,500, not a problem for me. Yeah, it's a round number, but I also don't care about that round number as much. Given the action we have north of it. So I'm going all the way up to 45.30. I'll be on the short side until we get 45.30 broken. But you see me going into the equity side because the futures aren't set up for the short yet, right? This could easily, and with Tesla's open, this could easily just grind back up and take out these 45.30s. That's the downside of a move like this that's been trending overnight, right? So you've got to be careful about this one here. Short side, it's in the short zone, but not ready for a short on the index side. NASDAQ is up 1.25, S&P up 0.91, and then obviously the individual names. That's why I'm picking and choosing which names that I want to go after. So I'm all over the place with like Netflix, Baba, Win, Micron. So I'm kind of spread out through tech there a little bit, even hotels there with Win.
What do I do with my Win?
Short it. So here we are.
I'm out here.
We'll see how that one works out. But again, that's only 4 positions. I'm still working more. And this just goes to show that, you know, you can kind of see both sides of it here. I want to be short on the index, but I don't want to short the index itself because of the fact that it's not ready. It's got buy-side strength. But at the same time, I'm trying to go after the weak names, or the names that I think are weak relative to what the index is doing right now. So I'm choosing the names that I want to go for shorts. And to be fair, all of this can get blown up. All it has to do is this market has to open strong. Tesla has to do a huge run up. Tech has to get a buy-side imbalance. And all these ones are going to get blown up. So this is one of the dangers of going into these trades pre-market is, you know, you may be pricing yourself out at times, but sometimes you get a move right before the open, and that kind of puts you in favor before you even get to the open. So that's the game that I'm playing. And somebody was asking, hey, how do you even trade in the pre-market? Well, on the future side, the market's already open. There's no, on the future side, the market's almost 24 hours. So you have that market already open with Globex hours through CME. And then on the equity side, it depends on your broker. For us, our servers come in at 6 a.m. We trade whatever's available. It depends on your broker. If your broker allows for pre-market, depending on accounts and whatnot, you got to contact your broker to see which one, whether they allow that or not. But for us, we have pre-market access from 6 a.m. onwards. Depends entirely on whether there's volume on these names or not. So highly suggest not trading at 6 a.m. But we are able to trade pre-market. That's why I'm in 4 positions and waiting for a few more. As I say that, index coming off a little bit off these 4,500s. What I would prefer, though, is for these 4,500s to get actually broken and then fail. Because at least that way we move the stops out of the way, right? Then we don't have to worry about this mystery of the 4,500 and what it holds if we were to get above it. So I'd rather just get that out of the way first and then fall off a little bit if that's what's in the cards for today.
All right, great stuff. Let's get into everything else you need to know this morning, heading towards the open here. Under 30 minutes to go, guys. We have a 9% move on Tesla now, obviously top of the list. In fact, that's a link for the watch list. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab that every single morning. Tesla, yeah, 9%, coming off a little bit, back below 1065 at the moment, but 18.8 billion in the quarter. EPS revenue beat. They're even talking 60% vehicle delivery growth possible for the remainder of this year. Doesn't get much better than that today.
No, it does not, but I just went long there and it went down a little bit there. So we got out of half of our position there when it broke through 1067 there. So we'll wait. We just took a $5 hit, small amount of shares, but we're going to wait about this 1060 level, see if that gets defended. I just think Tesla's going to be up and away here. It's the #1 name on the sticky note. And again, a big congratulations to you, Damian Stevens. And I just tweeted that out. So thank you. I would have tagged you, but I don't know what this was a cool little picture. I was here late last night, obviously doing some work and then getting out for the getting ready to go to the game, but people like this tweet. I just want to give you some back. You know, it's like this is one view, and then there it is there through the camera. So a pretty good view there. Come follow me at TraderTV Sean on Twitter. But yeah, okay, Tesla. I mean, can you get a more perfect quarter? Honestly, I mean, they beat everything, beat EPS, beat revenue, and not just beat it, they blew it out of the water, right? And then you know, Elon Musk talks about robo-taxis, talking more and more. Didn't really say too much. I felt like, unless I missed it on Twitter, which is a good thing. I don't even want to hear any mention of like, oh, he may finance the deal through Tesla to buy Twitter. No, thank you. I don't want anything to do with that. But the key level here is going to be 1150 that we're going to try to approach it to the upside. And that's just right into here that we've already been at. And I guess I can show you because the daily charts don't look too bad at this point here for us. But there's that 1150. We've gone, we went up, back down, retested, now back down. So you're just in a tale of two trades here right now. Either we start to march up to 1150, which I believe is going to happen, and I don't think it's going to happen today, but the march is definitely happening today. And I feel like this little level too of 1020. So, you have a 1020 bottom. I called it 1050 bottom. If you're just going to use even levels to get in and out of your trades. Right now it looks like 1060 is going to be a good bottom, but you're going to be ripping up here into 1100, I feel like today. So I want to try to stay long. I want to get longer. I did have to take some out there when we dipped there. So just to let you guys know, I just didn't want to have that same experience like we've had on Plug Power and a few of these other names where we just got in too early and then it ripped late and I was forced to get out. So right now we'll be a little more patient, wait for that 1060 to come through. And here's 1050, right? So we've barcoded all this morning at 1050 before taking off. So when you have a takeoff level like that and you just go up, basically this is a minute chart, up, up, up and away. Let me see if I can maybe zoom this in a little bit more for you guys here. There it is. So a nice little move to the upside. We went long thinking we were about to break this shelf again up. And it did. We did, when we went into the position, went in the money about $2 for us, then came right back down and we did take half of it out there. But now let's see about this 1060 level. If that breaks, then we can get out and say, you know what? Let's now wait for something off open for Tesla. And if it does fall back in, these are the levels I want to respect down here. Down near the 1050 area, let's watch to see if it dumps out. And I think you got to get really worried if you break this 1045. So that's the level there. We've held it all pre-market. Forget about the volume and everything. You do have a big wick here that's like 100,000 shares itself right there. So yeah, I don't know what that was all about at 8 o'clock. You get dark pool dumps and things like that at 8 o'clock. So we'll watch to see what Tesla's going to do right now. We're long at this level, 1072. It's not a great level, but hey, we're long it, and we're going to see what happens down here at 1060. We'll average in, and then hopefully that doesn't break, and if it does break, we'll get out, and then we'll have to just reevaluate this name on the open, but I think it's going to be a crazy one. The imbalances might not be chaotic. Arun, I know you look at the imbalances for Tesla. They're going to come out at 925, remember, because it's a NASDAQ name. So that could be something to look for. We never see Tesla really as a huge imbalance. A lot of the trading gets done when the market opens up. So let's wait to see what happens here with Tesla. But again, a great quarter, up 9%. I feel like there's going to be a lot of traders put offside on this trade. So I definitely want to be long this name, just a matter of the best levels. And Tesla today, the #1 name on here, 1040 support, 1050 support. Let's see if we can, hey, I like these views. Let's see if we can get that going today.
Yeah, it's going to be all about Tesla. Everyone all about Tesla for everyone else except for me because I'm not trading it. But we were kind of working this level here. We're identifying the level here, right? We were saying, hey, you know what? It's consolidating. It doesn't really consolidate this tight of a range unless it's going to make a massive move when it finally breaks out. That's what you saw in about early February or so, and we're finally getting that breakout through the top. The bottom end of this was 970. We never broke 970 last night, did we? We got through, we got like 974 or something like that on the right at the release point of those earnings, and then we just shot right back up, took the top off, and now here we are trading as high as 1080. That would put us right about here, and I mean, next look has to be that 1100. It's just magnetic at this point. $20 away, big round number, strong earnings, and everything you need to get this thing going towards a big round number. Yeah, you've got it. You've got everything you need. The question is, how fast does it take to get there, right? In the event that it falls up, let's just say, it takes a break. It's been running too hot maybe in the pre-market, and it takes a break off the open. There's tons of support levels all the way down. So you've got support levels down through 1050, like Sean mentioned, then 1040. I've also got 1030 as the bottom end. So you've got support points where all the way down that can actually help this thing bounce up and take off back to the upside. So we'll see what Tesla brings at the open, or at least within the first half an hour of the open. But Tesla's got everything it needs to take a look at least at that 1100. And, if you're very optimistic, you can even say 1150, which would be the April high, around 1152. That could be next on deck as well. But we've seen Tesla do some crazy things. It's all going to be about the open at this point on Tesla.
Just a noteworthy move here for quickly, guys, before we go on crude oil. very, very sharp run up here for crude on heavy volume as well. Worth noting, getting back to pre-market highs here, back to 104. So 1.5 now for crude back to the upside. Let's talk about Netflix. There's 3 or 4 more negative analyst moves this morning for Netflix, trying to test some of the lows, as we were mentioning early on from yesterday. But what do we do here, guys? Pretty active once again for Netflix.
Yeah, so we've already talked a little bit about and I just got some great news, by the way. There was a little flower shop in our neighborhood, unfortunately, that left. And my wife just went in and introduced herself. We got like a really nice Caribbean lady. That's what she doesn't know exactly where she's from, but this is what she told her. Opening up like a little grocery store with fresh meat, produce and everything like that, like literally like a 1-minute walk away from my place. So I'm really, really happy about that. And we always like to support local businesses and things like that. So I was just telling her, and she actually sent me I told her to make sure she mentioned this to her. She's getting it all set up, a big board where you write the prices. It's like turkey leg, this and that. Right. Anyways, a couple misspelt words in there. So I was like, make sure you tell her that because I love to support those local places. I'm just so happy because we've always wanted like a butcher and somebody like a fresh, well, we have a great bakery in my neighborhood, but anyways, produce and meat and everything like that. That's awesome. So definitely, like, I don't want to, I go to Loblaws and Metro and all those big chain grocery stores, but I'd love to support something local, especially obviously in the neighborhood, hence local. So, all right, Netflix. What are we talking about today with Netflix? All right, so let's just take a quick look at what we put on the sticky note here. And again, thank you so much, Damian Stevens. I tweeted that out, but I realized it's hard to read it unless you click on it. But here we go, Netflix right now, looking for a flush to the bottom here. That's the key, a flush, right? I want to see big volume. I want to see a retest here of 212, yesterday's low. Then let's look long. Other than that, man, I want to stay away. I want to be like, no more dealing with Netflix down near anything other than that low. So let's just, and I know you're short already, and I think that's the good play. Darn it, I can't really zoom out like that. So let me just go to the 20-minute. We have too many bad wicks there. But here's the 20-minute chart for us here. This is that low. It was put in very, very early yesterday. Let's call it 10 o'clock, between 10:30, where we absolutely flushed to the downside. That's not the kind of flush I'm looking for today. If we could just move down a little bit here, down to that like I said, that 212 area. Let's see what happens. It's a 3-day rule in effect right now. I did buy some yesterday, so I violated that rule, but I do want to get in there and buy some more. But I want to see if we hold that bottom. That's really the only play that's going to be here for me with Netflix. If you don't want to wait for that and you think the long is coming sooner than that, then yeah, you do have some levels. Yesterday we did bottom out right there at 220 again yesterday. That happens to be right where we are today. So that's not the bottom out of the day, but that's the bottom out of the afternoon before we picked up into the close. So generally speaking, some of these bottoms, like if they didn't want it to hold, then it could have easily kept on falling down. But I think you got rid of, and I'm not going to say weekends, but you heard Bill Ackman sell, 1.1 billion? Like, what is that guy? Look, great investor. Obviously, people that's been with him and his fund have done well. But that's a big hit for him. $400 million on a $1.1 billion investment. Like, that's losing 40% right there on your investment, right? So he basically just took the whole bath on that yesterday, all the way down when Netflix went down 35%. This is not a conspiracy theory, and I already said it before. When you're looking at Netflix, and let me get their exact market cap here quickly, and I hope this is updated. All I do is I go to FinViz, and Brendan, you could probably get this maybe for me on Icon. Maybe we'll see if it's the same thing. But we have no affiliation with this website, so I just want to go here, because I go here for market cap. Look at that, $100 billion. Like, all I have to say is Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for like 60 billion or something like that. Like, I just feel that, if there's going to be some acquisitions happening in the near future, 100 billion for Netflix when it used to be a 500 billion engine. And are the best days of Netflix behind them? Yeah, they are. Look, it was a pure play during COVID. There's no doubt about that. Everybody's sitting at home, ignoring their families, watching every single show on Netflix, right? Kids at home doing their schooling, parents at home not working or pretending to be at home working, watching Netflix, right? You had Queen's Gambit, you had Squid Game, you had a lot of, Tiger King, you had a lot of monstrous monstrous. Like Tiger King, I think, at one point, and still might hold it. What a ridiculous show that was. We had some memes for that, Trader King or something like that. Was really, if I could find that, I'll put that up instead of People's Trader. That was really funny. But look at Netflix here. What a rise. I mean, look at this dip here. If I could maybe zoom back a little bit more, and I know we're talking about Netflix. We have so much more to go, and we will go on that. This is going to take a while to load up. But anyways, a monster move upside here. You know, basically just making a 360 all the way back down. You had this monster. Did I say 500? Did this name went up to $700? Netflix? Yeah, so what a monstrous move back down for them. And again, it's not a conspiracy theory because people were putting that when I said it the first time. I just think it makes sense for somebody like an Apple, like instead of spending all this money on content, you can simply just buy Netflix. I mean, and that's not a horrible situation, I don't think. It might not be cheap enough to do that yet, so I don't know where the valuation's going, but that's just an underlying, little sort of tailwind maybe that could get behind Netflix if those rumors start going. So you heard it here first, and this might be the only place you're going to hear it because it might be obscene to think that. But I like your short in Netflix. Let's see if it can test that 212.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of my short was to work these 220s, right? We were holding well above it. I'll go over this again, why I'm short. 220 underneath. If we can get underneath, I wanted to play against this red line. We were able to get underneath 218, stay underneath 218, trade well enough. I took the short. I actually chased into that short, by the way. So I didn't even get the price that I wanted. I had to step down because it looked a little... looked like it was accelerating. So 217.72 is my short average price, and then the stop is going to be, I'm going to show you guys where the stop is. It's not going to be at 220. I'm going to have to put up $4 in risk, over $4 in risk, because I want to see what that low holds. So south of 215 into that 212.50 is what I want to see. That's the reason I'm taking the short. Obviously, it's catching a bid right now in the pre-market. It bounced from that 217.30 or so low all the way up to 220. So there was a buy side spike there, but now coming back a little bit. That concerns me a little bit because that's pre-market buying, which I did not think we would see this kind of strength in Netflix this early. But again, it's oversold. Maybe there's some longs coming on board, but we'll see how this one opens up. I know what I'm putting up. I'll take the risk, but I think there's a chance that we actually get an extension here, especially given how much we held 220 yesterday and then lost it overnight. So we'll see how that one plays out, but here we are in Netflix on the short side. Brendan.
Let's continue along here. UAL, AAL, both out with decent forecasts. Decent, I mean, and they're going to be back to profitability in this current quarter. They both reported a loss, fine, but I think that's a little bit ahead of where everyone expected them to be. So profitability for both AAL and UAL, guys, in this current quarter.
Yeah, what a dab up for anybody that was long that Jets ETF that we talked about off that DAL number, and anybody that's long any of these cruise lines or any of the travel play. We've seen this, unfortunately, we've seen this before, but this time, hey, maybe it's going to hold because AAL comes out and says that although they had a pretty disastrous quarter as far as losses and whatnot are concerned, they still crushed the street, which is awesome. Up that 10% here today for AAL. And Brendan just highlighted some of the numbers, but 1.15 billion adjusted loss, but they were expecting 2.74 billion for a loss. So they almost chopped that almost in half. Also 232 per share versus 432 per share. So, and those are both loss numbers. So they increased on that side, which is great on a beat. So again, still losing, still not, great as far as, oh my God, they're making money finally. But AAL comes out, and this is what was the biggest surprise to me. Look at this, saying the company expects to be profitable in the second quarter, right? Based on current fuel price assumptions. So I don't know what those assumptions are for fuel price. I know fuel prices are going up here, but these guys are way smart, man. This isn't like the 90s or anything like that, or early 2000s where they're not hedged out or anything like that. They're smart. They know what they're doing. But look at this level here, $22. I like it. I like it for a break long. There goes Tesla back into the money. So let's see if that can get going now through here. I'm looking at 1050 as an obvious level here just to come back in. That's sort of where we stopped around here. We've already talked about that 1050 level earlier on, but maybe it doesn't even get down there and we just look at 21. So let's just see what happens here with AAL early, and we'll watch out for it. But if it breaks down below, I don't know. There's also Delta, and I know you mentioned that as well. Oh, no, sorry, United, not Delta, my bad. United with a good little run there. Here's that 1050 bottom wick there. The reason why I talk about 1050 is that I really like this $20 level. So if we're going to buy on the way down, I want to wait in case there's a flush down into this 2050 area so that I don't get killed if and when it comes back in 220. But I don't see any reason whatsoever. Yesterday, it didn't follow the NASDAQ. It was a nice day for AAL there, and we're just going to wait to see what happens now. Here's yesterday's numbers for AAL. Where is it? That's a one-day chart. Here's a 20-minute chart here. So you see, you know, held it yesterday, pretty good, 19 bucks. So even though the NASDAQ was getting killed, they still made a high of 20 bucks yesterday on that after opening around 1950. So before fading back in, not a great close for them, but a monstrous day here. Let's see if they say hold my beer to everything and take out that $22. I'm a buyer of AAL, but it has to come down a little bit for me here or break that pre-market high of 22 bucks.
Yeah, I'm not trading either one. What else we got, Brendan?
Talk a little bit about Facebook, shall we? We came in yesterday to an upgrade, Citigroup with an upgrade. It ends up getting sold off pretty hard on a Cleveland research note talking about their e-commerce side. Is today the day? Big move down yesterday for FB. Do we get a bounce?
Bounce day? Ooh, boy. Facebook was the leading, was it the leading? Yeah, it was like 7%.
I hate Facebook.
Yeah, Sean had a rough day with Facebook.
Well, yeah, it was, I think it might have been second. Well, Netflix obviously was the monster, but
yeah.
But out of all the major cap tech names, yeah, good call, Arun. Yeah.
Apart from Netflix, I believe Facebook was the largest out of there with the 7% down day or something like that. Anyways,
that's exactly what it was.
You see it, right? From 214 at the open, and here we are. By the time we even get to 11 o'clock, we're down at 201, 200. 200. Big round number. You look at the daily, instantly I'm thinking 200. Is there something there? Have we been here before? We've gotten underneath, but there hasn't been any support declared around that 200. So stops, maybe. They were taken yesterday. We put in a 199, 198.92 low. Okay. And now we're bouncing back above. Okay, we're at 202. Let's see what happens at 200. That's all I can say. There's one trade to make. It's going to be entirely dependent on how that 200 NASDAQ imbalance is coming out right about now. And, oh, man, I'm going to get screwed on Netflix.
Why?
Netflix had a buy-side imbalance.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
What's Tesla's? Because right now Tesla's testing that 1075. We are, well, it's bouncing around, but 1075. Look at the spread on Netflix, on Tesla right now.
Yeah.
$3 spread. I was debating just taking out the $3 and being flat on this, but we're starting to rock and roll here off that open. But you hit that right on the head there. We can look at it. Oh, wow, there's only a few minutes left. So let's just quickly look at the imbalances here that you were just talking about. Yeah. CCL buy side, AAL sell side. That's American right there. You obviously had it highlighted. I don't see Netflix on here anymore. I do like Neo with a buy today coming through. That was another name that we'll talk about very, very soon. But right now I am long Tesla, just watching to see what this is doing. But did you like, I sort of got distracted there. Did you pass on Facebook, or what do you think about that 200?
It's going to be that 200. I want to see what it does around that 200. If we get some trading around there, then I like to go for the short side on 200. I mean, there could be a flip side, which is the long too. If you get a failed break underneath 200 that snaps back into that 201, you could get a decent long. For anyone wondering what that imbalance was, it was 50,000 shares on the buy side for Netflix. With 285,000 paired. That's why you got that snap up from 219.30 all the way north of 221. So still trading 221. Our stop is just above 222. Buy side moved before, and now a buy side imbalance. This ain't looking pretty. I mean, this is the danger you take. I guess that 220 is not going to work, but again, we'll hold on to it, see what the open brings. There's still an off chance that there's a sell side move after the open if the buy side is done. Remember, imbalances are printed at 930, so as soon as it gets printed, that buy side pressure is gone, right? So that's kind of the hope. That's the only last bit of hope you have on the short here on Netflix, but it does look like buy side imbalance on Netflix, buy side imbalance on Tesla, which has 65,000 shares to buy, by the way, right here.
Okay.
And in terms of overall imbalances, what do we got? Let's take a quick look at overall imbalances. Let me just move it over. Overall, we've still got NAT, buy side 1.33 million, CCL buy side 471, and then another airline there. BRQS is there too, buy side 459. But that's about it. You're not getting a whole lot out of the New York side. You're getting a few NASDAQ names that have some decent buy side, just enough to get this market excited going into the open.
All right.
All right, a couple minutes to go, guys. Let's talk about some small caps as well. RDBX, Red Box, up on some news yesterday. It came out about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. They are shrinking the size of their board. They approved that move. So an extension here in the pre-market, 320 at the top end to move higher initially, and then the fade for RDBX, guys.
To have just held you, Netflix, Tesla, damn you, Tesla. Yeah, we were at 1072. We did get a dump out there at 1068 when it broke to the upside, but that sucks right now because we would be really cruising now. But nice little move upside there for Tesla. We're still long. I don't see any reasons why we don't take out this 1080 and then we fly. This is one of those names that I want to hold basically now all day as Tesla just keeps on working to the upside here. Let's just see where it goes. Big trade there for me on Tesla. Just could be infinitely bigger, obviously. Just like we did yesterday on Netflix, we got out for like a $6 winner, and then it cratered down below, and both me and Arun got out around that same level there. 220 right now is what we're looking at. NEO I put on the sticky note here, and I'm just looking at the levels, and it was 18 or 1870. So here on NEO, as Tesla starts to rip to the upside, I really like this name. We only have about a minute left, so I'm trying to talk like, does anybody remember that Micro Machines guy? I was talking about that the other day with somebody, and he was like, their ad was like Micro Machines, and it was like so super quick. Sometimes you feel like you're running an auction around here. But here's 1870. I like the long here for NEO, 1870. So let's see if it takes that out. And then back down to 18. I feel like we have some good bottoms there as well. So bottom fishing here on NEO today on Tesla strength.
Yeah, Tesla coming back in through that 220 gives me hope because this is exactly where I wanted the resistance to be, which was that 220 area, right? Or where I was expecting resistance to be on the upside. So I was trying to work against that. And then they snapped up off the imbalance, now coming back in. It's going to be very interesting. If they catch a bid here, it's going to take off. If they lose it, it's going to, well, I mean, obviously, it's going to fall off here. Futures coming off to the downside a little bit, so market is coming off a little bit going into the open. As it comes off, I am taking more and more short fills. Oh, boy. Here we go. 5 shorts going into the open and 2 more waiting to get filled as we are waiting for this open in the final 15 seconds there, Valeria.
Oops, I hit it a little too early, so now the countdown is on, and it's going to be a little early.
Oh,
so
it's not 6.
I will count it down. No, that's not the right countdown, Valeria, so let's let that 2 and 1. Yeah, let's hit it. Let's just go for nuts. Okay, so the market is open. Now, so here we go. Let's rock and roll. We're going to watch out for NEO right here. Tesla just dancing around, man. Tesla got as high there as 1080, I believe, again. So let's see where it goes from here. I am going to dump this thing if we break that 1060. We've talked about that. I'll average into this. Let's see what happens with Tesla today and where it goes from here. So we're just waiting. That's Tesla bouncing around right now. I do have lower bids coming in. So it looks like now this bid is getting lost here. Oh, do I have a stuck ARCA on this name? God. All right, let's go back here. Now Facebook's not even loading. Let's go back to Arun for a second.
Yeah, I'm watching Netflix. I'm watching Netflix very, very closely. They caught a bid there. I thought there was a small little sell move, but no, they caught a bid going north of 321. Yeah, I'm not going to get any help. Yeah, this is going to be bad. All right. Damn. Okay, we're going to walk away from Tesla there.
NASDAQ's tanking, though.
Yeah, but not Netflix. Netflix is catching a bid. Yeah, after, I guess they're doing a buy-side move. Here it is at 223. We're going to give up on Netflix. That was done. We made like a $30-something winner. We just gave back $4 today.
Like,
fine, move on from that. We've got Snow on the short side. We've got BABA up 65 cents. Snow and Winner out. And then we've got Micron up 13 cents. And futures taking off to the upside.
We don't have quotes, Greg or somebody. If we can get some help here, there's no quotes on Tesla or anything right now, so I have no idea what the hell is going on. Facebook, we don't have quotes either. Can we get? We need an update here. Where's? I don't know. Hopefully, Maggie, if you're listening, please help out here. Nasdaq's not even moving. So AAL. AAL's moving, so I can look at AAL. Okay, AAL came back down there right now. Brendan, if you could put a note there into somebody for some help, that'd be great. All right, so right now Tesla, AAL, everything, or Fahad, please tell Maggie somebody. Downside right now with 1 minute chart. We'll look at that for AAL. A nice downside move into 21 right now, so that's going to be a level to look at. We talked about AAL coming back in here, so maybe that's a play. Why is the NASDAQ going up? Like I honestly, I can't see any NASDAQ names right now. now, but AAL seems to be working. So it's coming back into 21. I don't have any bids on this except for 2070. So here it's coming. It's flushing down. So I don't know if this is lipstick on a pig today for AAL or what, but there's the flush back down through 21. I'm sitting a little lower than this to see what's happening right now. But right now, I don't have any quotes on various NASDAQ names. It's a quote issue. Don't you have the same problem, or do you see Tesla moving?
Tesla, I didn't pull up Tesla, but Tesla's, okay, yeah, okay.
Right,
There's an issue. Some names have issues on our system, but just pull up these signal charts and just work with that, because execution is still good as the futures are rallying to the upside. NASDAQ up 1.62%. Futures, buy side move, I guess. Let's take a quick look at what the index is, not the index, yeah, Tesla up 9% on the day. Everything else up at least 1%. Apple now at 169.5 as we're running to the upside. Not everything is running, because I do have Qualcomm, BABA, both shorts in the money. Micron somewhat stable, and then Snow is taking a move to the upside. I guess it's moving with the market. What's the look on Snow? Let's take a Snow chart. Futures not ready for, again, I'm going to work shorts in certain areas. Yeah, Snow, not Snow. Yeah, unfortunately, we were working the top end of this range. It's picking up buy-side strength. Let's see what the level 2 on Snow looks like. If it is fine. Okay, it's a 70-cent spread. That's why it looks as bad as it does. We're going to wait on this one to actually tighten up a little bit here. For whatever reason, we decided to start the day with a quote issue, apparently, on some names. So we are trading a little blind. Execution's good. For anyone from any other offices that are having a similar issue, execution's still good. So you guys can just work with execution and your own charting systems for the time being.
Yeah, we're back right now, so it looks like it is fine there. But we did average into that Tesla position here, it's looking, so it is looking back. We are going to miss some data on the charts there because of that issue. But yeah, right now back into the money now for Tesla. Not into the money, but now we're cruising around. We did get that average in that we wanted to, about that 1062 area. So let's see if Tesla can now fly to the high side there. Our average price is 1067. It's not going upside the way I thought it really would. That's a little bit of a flush there. Again, maybe there's some sort of a sell side here at about 1075. So I think we'll try to take something out if we can get a 1075. But now we're starting to rip back up to the upside here. So let's go Tesla. Average price right now, 1067. It seems like the quotes are back right now. So thanks, Fahad, Lucas, Brendan, Maggie, everybody for at least looking into that. And again, you're 100% right, Arun. When we have quote issues, it's generally system-wide. So maybe there was a quote problem from the NASDAQ right now, and Ms. V is back with, yes, sir, bang right now, $8 in the money on a doubled-up position there for Tesla. So what's up, Ms. V? Thank you so much for the coffee, but let's go. Now $10 in the money now for Tesla. I'm going to take a piece out here. Big move upside.
Yeah, I'm just watching my trades here. As you can see, I'm playing the opposite direction. I'm playing the short side. Obviously, they're running up, and we're taking now, it's moving out of the money on a lot of these names, except for BABA, which is actually falling off. So Snow's going up, Qualcomm's now out, and this market is it accelerating? No, it's actually, okay, it's coming back down a little bit, and this is what we need. We're in an area which makes sense that it slow down a little bit. That's the only reason why I'm, okay going on the short side against these names. So we are doing just fine. I'm perfectly okay. Netflix was unfortunate, but again, we were working Netflix with 220. We got underneath. That trade makes sense to me. I'll take that trade every single time. It doesn't matter what happened the day before. I'm taking that trade every single time because of the setup. As the market runs up to that 45.05, starting to stall out a bit. If we catch some sell side action, maybe we can get a setup that works for us on the short side here as well on the futures. That's what I'm waiting for the time being. We've got almost everything I want. The only trade that's left that hasn't been filled is Xerox, which Brendan brought to us. But that rally really needed to get going to the upside because I'm willing to short closer to 17 even. We got a high of like 1693, not close enough for me. So we're still waiting for that one there to get a little bit higher to get that fill on the short side for Xerox there as Snow continues. Unfortunate Snow. Why do you have this kind of strength here? This is weird.
Well, the market is. I mean, look at the market.
The market the market
right now.
Yeah.
To the moon and beyond, or what do they say? No, it's, damn it, it's been such a long time since we've watched Toy Story. What is the Toy Story sentence? Oh, to infinity and beyond. Good call there, Lucas. You always got to go to the younger guys for that there, to infinity and beyond. You know what, Lucas? Buzz Lightyear. How about that? There we go. That's the name. We got that one. As there it goes, Tesla making that rain right now on that trade. We are now $23 in the money on this Tesla trade. This matches our $28 winner yesterday for Netflix. Let's go, buddy. And at least today, I'm not averaging in to the depths of hell on Facebook. Bang! Let's go, Tesla. This is what we're talking about. It's Sticky Note Nation time, baby. I hope you guys are killing it. Let's go, Brendo.
Twitter, guys, just popping up here, 0.6% already through that high from yesterday, or testing that high from yesterday. Some reports floating around suggesting Elon wants to get these negotiations not only started, but completed immediately. So a little more urgency in the talk today for this deal with Twitter.
All right, as this market pauses a little bit, it helps my positions out slightly. Snow is still working with the spread, so we're still out about 230. Yeah, it's all over the place here. We're still working with this one. As long as the market is backing off like it is, as I'm not expecting it to, as I'm working the resistance levels. For anyone wondering why am I going short when the market is this strong, because we're in a resistance level and some stocks look weaker than others. That's why I'm going after these shorts as I am. As I say that, there goes Qualcomm, there goes Baba back in the money, and then Micron coming back in and Snow stabilizing as well. So as long as these weak names, you're playing relative weakness. If I can't go for a long on the futures and there's nowhere to do it and we're entering a sell zone, why would you not look at the opposing side and go for relative weakness, right? We tried for relative weakness on Netflix, didn't work, but we've still got more positions on board. We've still got 5 more, and I've got a few more alerts to go through, see if anything else pops off as well. So we are picking up some names as they come up into certain ranges. On the short side, of course, the flip side of that is that it does, market continues its move. But if you're working certain ranges, there's a reason why you're working that range. I'm looking for resistance. If you guys missed that future stock in the morning, you go back to about the early April or so, there's a ton of volume north of 4,500. And I mentioned it when we were talking about futures too. I want to see what happens around these 4,500s. If we get stability north of it, it could easily just continue grinding. But if we're getting what we're getting right now, which is sell side action north of 4,500, failed break above, comes back underneath, you could actually get a move to the downside. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the event that we actually get that move on the futures as well. I'll take that. I'll pull back on the equity side and I'll just go into the futures. Brendan.
More on Twitter, guys. As of yesterday, April 20th, Morgan Stanley writing a commitment letter apparently for financing of this deal. So $21 billion at least of the deal itself coming from Morgan Stanley. So a nice move up for Twitter.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, Twitter, we'll have to look at that for sure. I will look at that, Kevin, on NEO, but the problem here is Tesla right now. We were just talking to Infinity and Beyond, but the problem is, I didn't even notice this. Well, I noticed it, that's why I'm talking about it, but that 1092, that looks a hell of a lot like a wick off top to me right now. So, I mean, that was like a big explosion, and this is exactly what we're talking about here. When you see names like this, where you go, I don't want to say parabolic, but that was like 1060 up to, that was $20 right there, 2% or so in a matter of a couple minutes straight to the upside. And then you get that exhaustion wick up there right now. I am going to sell some of this in front of 1100, to be honest with you, if we can get back up there. So let's see if that does work right now. Tesla to the upside, but we're not, just like Arun was talking about it there, Tesla's not immune to coming back in right now. The market, I mean, it was just down there. So why can't the next 3 minutes come right back in here? So we got to be very, very careful with how we trade this right now. Obviously, we don't want to trade it with rose-colored glasses, meaning, hey, we only looking long. We think like we're not wrong, long is right, so on and so forth. So you got to be able to sort of switch gears on some of this. And with that being said, I still have 1060 as an out. So, I want to hold this to make sure we're wrong. I'll give back everything we've made on this now because I believe it was a great quarter. I believe Tesla needs to go to the upside, which it's already doing now. 10% is a monster number, but I want to see if we can get back up here and see if that wick is for real. So I'm gonna stay strong on this. If we hang out up here a little bit longer, then obviously a move back down here is not something that I'm going to expect. So at that point, we'll try to get out maybe around 1070, but for right now, it's $19 in the money. We had a big trade yesterday, but we're going to look at AAL right now. So we did push that as we thought. We took out VWAP right there back to the upside. We were looking 2070 downside, and I missed it. I asked for Daryl's opinion, and I missed it there, Daryl, on the chat. So I just wonder what you're thinking, because I know that you look at the travel sector as well. Daryl's one of our viewers there, one of our longest members as well. So shout out to you, Daryl. Thanks for being here. But 21 $21, looking to support that. And then honestly, I wanted to look at 20.50 again. So I was basically going to average in there, and I pulled my bid. So like we got this, and I put a bid right down here actually at 21.10, and we could have averaged in, and now we'd have a winner. But I don't want to average in and get myself in trouble. So let's wait for a little bit of a lower tick. If this is going to work, it's going to work anyways. So let's put an offer now around this 21.70 area. If it rips up, great for us. Otherwise, here we go. Now Tesla's working itself out again, barbecuing up some profits. I cleaned the barbecue this weekend. Are you a big barbecue guy there, Arun?
Oh, I love my barbecue. Gotta
Everyone
get that
loves
brisket in.
barbecue. You'll love that brisket as well. How are your positions working out?
They're coming back in a little bit here. Snow, again, snow has started to close the spread and is moving back towards the 190. So that one, you know, after being $3, whatever, out of the money, now that one's about 90 cents or so with a dollar spread. So I'm 90 cents out with a dollar spread. So that's, you know, I'm priced in just underneath 190, and the bid is underneath 190, and the offer is underneath 191. So that's why you're going to be out. But hey, Qualcomm's at 28 cents, Baba's up $1, Micron's up 12 cents, and then Win also coming back in about just underneath $1 or so. Win actually is picking up a bid here off that 78.50, bouncing back. So Win might be a problem. Everything else looking pretty good and stable there. Brendan?
Some of the Bitcoin mining stocks specifically catching a bid here. BTC back through 42 this morning. Just saw Mara, guys, popping up on volume here, up to 22 once again. 42 I meant for BTC. Mara up 5%.
All right. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Frank? Frank's, I keep saying Slayers, but it's not. It's Salyers, I guess. What's up, Frank? Yeah, Kathy says you should buy Tesla. Yeah, of course she does. She has a $4,600 price target on TSLA right now. So, yeah, you probably buy it if you are a Kathy Wood fan. But you know what? Don't get ahead of yourself on the valuation, man. I mean, this stock moves 30, like it's a $1 trillion company, right? We know that about Tesla and gaining more on that today. But like a $1 trillion company really shouldn't be moving 30% like it can move there over the last couple weeks. We had that bottom of 800. Now you're up to 1100. It's great to get these confirmation numbers, and it's great to like see Tesla move like this, but let's not get too twisted, man. A 10% move is huge for this name. And I don't think it's getting exhausted up here. I think there's still more to go, but I am looking at this 1088 level. We'll probably dump out of Twitter. Twitter. I want to get into Twitter. That's on my mind right now. But Tesla up here, I am debating now if we can get this 1090, something like that, 1088. I think that's going to be a good trade. Let's put $28 in the bank for Tesla if it does come back up. But again, letting this work a little bit, like I could take it right now, take this $25 and run away, but we're trying to get going here again. If the NASDAQ does pop, this is a name that we like. AAL also, of course, popping in and out of profitability for me. We're going to have to put that one in the fridge. Shout out to Toronto Tony. And I did find out why Netflix went down. Tony finally, guys, bought some Netflix the day before earnings, so that's why it went down. That's not a true story, but Tony says everything he buys goes the other way. So that's why people said that Tony got involved, and that's what happened to Netflix there. But no, I don't think that's true. We will find out an update on Tony's positions later on. $26 right now in the money for Tesla and working these new highs, Arun. So far, so good on this name as the NASDAQ trying to figure itself out. I'm kind of with you. I wonder if we are getting a little top heavy here on the NQs. Interested to know, is there a level on the NASDAQ? And I know you already did your futures, and I know you're also in position, so you don't have to talk about this, but when you're ready, is there a level here of the NASDAQ where we begin to think short on is good, or do we need to maybe break that 14,000?
I mean, here's the issue.
Or the S&P, whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, the S&P I've already talked about, north of 4,500
Right.
into 4,530. That's a short option potential zone, right? The issue is that I trade on a much larger, I guess, time frame. It's not. I'm not looking for the instant trade or the trade that's going to work out in the next hour or so. I'm okay holding it the entire day if I need to. So for me, the NASDAQ has about another 20 to 30 points in upside before we start hitting resistance zones. And then if we set up on the NASDAQ, then there's shorts available on the NASDAQ for 200 points. You need to have the stomach for willing to short inside of 200 points on a range on the NASDAQ, right? If you're willing to trade in that scale, you have to be willing to do that. If you're not, then we're in very, very different time frames when it comes to trading. And that's the thing with trading. There's so many different approaches, right? My approach may not make sense for someone who's watching for 2 hours our show that goes from 8:30 until 11 o'clock because I'm not trading for the morning show. You need to watch the morning show, maybe catch up updates on the midday show, and then figure out how it closed out in the end of the day, because that's just how the progression of my trades are. For all the trades that were out of the money, they're all in the money now. Snow up 5 cents, even with the dollar spread. Qualcomm up 50 cents. BABA up $1.50. Win flat at 3 cents in the money. Micron up 43 cents. This is kind of the approach that I take, and a lot of the times you're sitting on out of the money moves, and it doesn't really tell the whole story because of the range, right? You got to be, if you're willing to play the wide range, that's how you got to kind of do it. And futures, like I said, NASDAQ has another 30 points in the upside, so it can still keep going, and these shorts are still valid because they're relatively short to the rest of the market. Because if I'm going to work NASDAQ shorts, it's going to be right here, pretty much from 14.3 all the way up to 14.5, right? That's 200 points. So, and we're not even there yet. We're only trading at 14,250. So we still have 50 points upside before we hit that resistance level. And then there could be some setups on the short side. So index names, I'm thinking maybe Apple. Apple's actually pretty strong at 2%. Microsoft's up 2%. So Amazon, too pricey. Facebook, that's probably going to be the relative weak one here. Let's take a quick look at Facebook because that one's only up 0.07%. and moving to the downside. So if I'm looking for index, I know index is hitting resistance, and I'm thinking I want to go short, but I don't want to go after the very strong ones that are actually outpacing the index. I'm going for the weak ones, and Facebook is going to be the one that stands out there because of the way it's moving. So Facebook is there. Everything else is strong. Google's too expensive. Adobe's up 2%. AVGO's up 1.85. So can't go for those tech names, but definitely other options on the table. Just got to go through the list and figure out which ones are weaker.
So I think I'm going to come back to regret this right now because I got out of Tesla when it broke through 1080 there. I said I was going to try to wait this out and take it back to the downside there, but I did respect what you were saying there about that 4,500 on the ES. I know we're right at there, so it's not like the trade is on yet to the downside, but the NASDAQ started to turn around a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm going to just get out of Tesla now, put that 20 bucks in our pocket. So that's what we did there. And the other reason too is that we got into our NEO, and right now I was not expecting this for NIO on a strong Tesla day. And again, I guess it does make sense that money's coming out of some of these weaker EV names now and moving into Tesla. So I really feel like, I'm still fine with this. We just got out at 1079 on a 1080 break, so it's okay. But this NEO trade right now, one that I'm obviously going to be a little worried about here as we're ticking down. And I just looked at it on a longer time frame. That's a 1 minute. Where's the 20? We do have some of these bottoms coming into play again, 1800 right now. And on the daily chart as well for NIO, that little wick bottom is 1780 or so. So we'll take one more average in to try to respect that 1780. But if this cracks lower, man, we got to get out of NEO if it does not hold that level. So just like you're doing, Arun, right now, we're trying to play a little bit longer time frames here, trying to look and not just say, oh, I'm out of Tesla, or I am out of Tesla. I'm out of NEO here because it broke 18. Like, we're going to try to look to see if there's some better levels there. The 1780 maybe gets respected, so we want to see about that coming back in for NIO. We did put on the short now. AAL definitely down to 21 again. That name doesn't want to work, so I can't put all these things in the cooler. We're going to have to wait to see again, but that moved down into 2090. So right now, working with NEO. Pissed off that I got out of Tesla now and went over to NEO, but we are short Facebook into some weakness in the NASDAQ as well. So let's go short Facebook. Should still be long Tesla. That's my bad. But we still got a nice win on Tesla today. My biggest win today, obviously. AAL, though, guys, lipstick on a pig, it looks like here, as that's coming back in. What's up, Brendo?
My chart is not loading, Sean, but your Nucor having a nice day here. Looks like they beat as well, right across the board. So up 50% for sales, 10.4 billion. For Nucor. So some of the mining and resource stocks catching a bid here. FCX I saw as well, another one.
All right. Yeah, Nucor, man. Great trade that one. Shout out to Austin. We were long 95 bucks. That's 180 right now. So we almost a double up on Nucor in just over a month. So, or 2 months, sorry. Good trade there for Nucor. Go ahead, Arun.
No, I'm just going through people saying that Fed is talking today. I'm just trying to figure out where the what the speech is here. Yeah, it is.
Brendan can find that.
Thursday, right?
Today's
Brendan's got it.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay, so we got a 1 p.m. speech from the Fed. That'll be interesting. Definitely keep an eye on that. I was worried that it was going to happen fairly soon. Sometimes you can, 10 o'clock starts there, and that was in 9 minutes. I was like, okay, we got a ton that are in the money. Do I want to put on all of this risk going into the Fed. But I've got enough time to take it, let these stocks move. Futures still going to the upside. Again, we haven't taken a shot on the short side on the futures, but we have gone after the individual names. And the individual names, all of them are doing just fine. They're all in the money, by the way. The biggest one being BABA actually falling off here from that 88.50. Remember, we're short here in the pre-market underneath 90, and now we're trading all the way down here south of 88.50, and the chart looks solid too. So I'm pretty confident with the BABA trade, just because I really like the way the daily looks. Look at this. There's nothing stopping us. Where are we supposed to go with this? Like, in terms of targets, do I even have any after we take out these 88s? I don't know. I don't think I have any. The only thing I got to be concerned about is what happens if we can't take out this low. Okay, it's 87. 87 low from March 16th. If we can't take that out, then there's going to be a problem. But I'll keep an eye on this one and how it trades south of 88. But up at that point, up until that point, I'm not going to do anything with it. It's $1.63 in the money right now, and it's trending to the downside on the daily. It looks good on the intraday. We've got a great price, a shade underneath 90. I don't have to do anything with it except wait for this thing to get going to the downside. We've got a rotation in snow finally after a little run in the pre-market here to the upside towards that 193. They finally got back in south of 190. We're short just underneath 190 actually. We've got 189.96 and now it's trading 188.60 and change. We've got space. We can maybe take a look at that 186 low area from yesterday. That's going to be my first target, and then of course if we actually break through that 186, then I can set up maybe a brand new trade. Somebody was asking, hey, Arun, Netflix. I've done what I need to do with Netflix. It didn't work out, right? I went for that short in the pre-market trying to work those 220s, and then it didn't work out. They ran through all the way up into that 228, and now they're coming back in. I wanted to work on the short. This move, this sell move that happened from 227 to 228, this needed to happen earlier in the day, meaning before the market even opened and we did that massive move to the upside, because it voids everything that I saw. All right, I was trying to work sell side action going into the open, and they did a buy side move with a buy side imbalance, and now we're coming right back into support. Right, so for me, it's going to be a problem. Maybe 215 opens the door for another trade, but again, I've already got enough on the table in terms of shorts that are actually strong. For me to step into Netflix just because it's starting to move.
Look at this move.
So it could be another trade on 215 as well.
Yeah, great shorts there. We're hitting the money for these shorts, guys. Netflix, monster in the money now, $1.40. Sorry, not Netflix. That's your trade. Facebook, $1.40 now in the money as we get revenge on this thing today. Let's break 200. Sayonara. See you later, Zucky. What's up, Brendo?
One we mentioned right at the close yesterday, guys. Carvana with not a good report. They also announced an equity raise. So a huge flush aftermarket yesterday. It comes back into play a little bit this morning, but held 84 twice there. Big buy volume came in there for CVNA.
All right. Was that Carvana you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carvana. Yeah, big, an offering coming from them as well. Okay, so we say see you later to Facebook. We'll look at that after. We talked about buying some NEO down there at 18 bucks. We didn't do it because we had that lower look. And honestly, like I have bids down here at that 1780 level. It went to 1795, and that was that for that. So, really, Dominic said it sounded like Sean just got burned on something. No, not at all, but I'm upset because of Tesla. Like, I got out there on that 1080 break thinking we were coming to the downside, and I should have just held it and then just shorted Facebook. But again, part of the reason why I got out of it was because this NEO came screaming down, and I was like, uh-oh. And I know they're not really connected, but the EV space in China, I was like, I had too many shares there for NEO to do that. But bad mistake there. Elizabeth Goodyear, you said, what should you do with Tesla? I believe you could probably hold it. I don't know what your position is. I don't know what your risk tolerance is or your size or anything like that. And I think that that's pretty important to do that. If you're going to look for a break, I mean, I would just do a little conservative here and then get out of some if we break this 1077. And if you take that down a little bit, maybe 1075, more conservative level there, Elizabeth. So that would be my advice right now on that name. But hey, we got to go back over there. I think it's Ms. V. What's up?
CYN is up more than 100% on the news that the company launches a Drive Mode Kit, a fully equipped autonomous vehicle hardware integration model. So guys, maybe we can take a look at that name also. And more than that, more than 7,000 people watching us right now. So team, please make sure you like this video and help us get 2,000 likes as soon as possible. Back to you guys.
CYN is absolutely nuts. Okay, 230 is still running strong. I mean, momentum players or scalpers, momentum scalpers.
It's their
This
day.
is your arena right here because it is. They've got size and they've got momentum to go. So this is going to be a great one for everyone who loves to play that game here, just chasing, not chasing, but just going after the direction. But for me, I'm going to sit back. Again, I'd done everything I needed to when the market was ripping and I was going into these shorts. Obviously, it wasn't looking pretty, but now these stocks are starting to move. Snow is now $3 in the money. We've got Qualcomm up $1.38. We've got Baba up $1.86. We got Micron up 91 cents, and we got Win, Sean. Win isn't cooperating. Win apparently heard you. Win heard you and said, "No, not today. We're not going right now."
No. Net pa. For Win right there. But yeah, whatever. Good call on all those shorts, man. I mean, you know, if you're batting 500, not bad. And I think you're doing better than that today. So good job on that one. But I'm going to take CYN here if it does break, man, through this day high. Let's just see if it has some legs to this. We'll take it through that level, and then we'll try to hold this back on a 2 break back down below. So, you know, we'll take this one. We'll try to roll with it a little bit here on CYN. And we always talk about zooming out again. So, you know, we've already hit this resistance before. So, you know, if it does go through 240, which looks like it's going to try to do right now, that'll punch me into the long. But you got to try to respect, I guess, this 270 top. So if you get a 240, guys, which I'll probably get, oh, it keeps rejecting it right there. Let's see if that comes through. But I got bigger fish to fry right now because I'm actually in these positions. Down goes Facebook right now as this name's starting to get accelerated here into the downside. We pick on the weak names again, man. Like yesterday, we thought Facebook was strong. It was not. We got roasted up there like a nice Portuguese chicken to the downside now. Here we go. Now we're starting to get elevated. Where's my bid, Facebook? Oh, yeah, 199.02 right now for Facebook to the downside. I may bump that up because really, what does it really matter if I'm just piecing out some of this Facebook right now? I'm going to take a piece out right now at 20. Just put a bid in there. If we can get run over at 23, that would be nice. So I just put, there it is. Nice little run over there for that name as the Bears, Arun, come out today on this name. NASDAQ name starting to go to the downside. I don't know, Elizabeth, if you got out, but there it is. There's the call I made on Tesla for you, 1078, breaking that VWAP. It's testing that 1075. I said if you want to get a little more conservative, that could be a good area. So you're almost looking to possibly watch out for a dump here in Tesla right now as we're starting to come back down through VWAP. That was, wow. I mean, what a respected top there at 1087, 1088. So should have looked at that a little closer, did not. And by the way, NEO, crack city right now to the downside. Not a good name to be in if Tesla does fall as well. So this is not looking good here for NIO as the NASDAQ comes in. Damn, that sucks. You know, bad trade here possibly for NIO. I may just get out if we break this level here, 1070. So I don't think we're going to average into this at all. 1770. If we break back down below that, man, we might just get out. Forget about all these little bottom wicks. Like that's $1 lower. So right into there, 1780 is a level of concern for me right here for that name as, yeah, we're cracking everything else, man. Oh, CYN busted. So CYN busted 40 there. We just got in literally a minute ago as we were talking. Didn't even notice it. And look, I'm your Huckleberry one more time. Shout out to Neil, who hopefully will be back soon. Taking out that 240 right now. We'll see what happens. And we got 242 there long, or 243 long, actually, almost near the high of the day. So we're going to try to respect this back down into here. Maybe an average in if it does come through. But there goes NEO to that downside. We are now out of it. So let's see what happens here. NIO. If it gets picked up again, we'll start to go. But NEO downside, we're going to get out of this one before it gets even nastier. What's up, Brendo?
There's a note from Amazon, guys, suggesting they were investing more, or going to invest more on the fulfillment side. Also suggesting that they're coming directly at Shopify and even allowing certain merchants to sell Prime items on their own websites and look after the fulfillment on their own website. So more negativity here today for Shopify.
Damn, Shopify getting closer and closer to that 500. This is going to be
I bought some small Shopify too, like a long time ago. That's
very interesting. It's been a downtrend, and it's starting to look at that 500, which is still $15 away, by the way, but it's already down $11 on the day, so it could still get going. I don't know, but it's definitely one to watch. There's, in terms of volume, how much volume have they done in the first half hour? They've done 500,000 shares. Okay. Also not enough, though. Shopify is a dangerous game to play. I'm going to stay away from it. Snow, guys, for anyone wondering, where did Arun take profit on Snow? He did. You guys see that? I managed to get some out right in front of these 186s here.
So I like that talk.
We got it $4. Okay, just underneath $4 on that move here from 190 all the way down. That's a 1-to-1 exit, by the way. We're risking about 4 on the way up. And then here we are taking 4 on the way down on half the position. I'm moving the trail stop up. So worst case scenario, I make $4 on half of it, and then the rest I get out flat. I mean, I'm good now on snow, regardless of what it does going forward. I'm watching BABA. Again, BABA's got to take that 87. It broke through that 88 and got going to the downside. 87.5 it's bouncing off of. I am in trail mode on BABA because I know this 87 has to be the next checkpoint that we need to get through to get going, right? So it's still got carrying momentum. It's $2.40 right now in the money. We're going to let it go. Let it go. See how far it wants to go before they catch a bid in front of this 87. If they catch a bid in front of this 87. If they don't, just sit back, wait for it, let it go as maybe we get a move like Netflix did yesterday. So that was $2.45. Qualcomm is $1.14. Snow is, like I said, is about $4 when I got out. Now it's about $2.60 with the spread. And then Win, hey, if Win finally got going, Win, I guess, heard me say something, and Win said, hey, here's 80 cents. Here's Win getting going now towards that 77, and it looks pretty good, too, if we can get through that 77. We've got downside space all the way down to 75. What's up?
No, I was going to say, before we throw to Brendan here, did you see what just happened to Netflix? I know you've been looking at other stuff there. You're not going to like what just happened to Netflix, by the way. It goes, and this is the thing, like I wasn't looking at it, but it goes right to yesterday's high. Literally, like to the dollar pretty much there. 227, like what am I doing not looking at this thing right there? But it goes right up to the day's high yesterday and then cracked right back into day's low today. So Netflix right now looking like it wants to take this 216. So we're going to go to Brendan for happening now, but just to let everybody know, Netflix back in play maybe, Arun, so you know you might want to look at this one more time. Back up to 216, down to 216 again on that day low. Not a capitulated bottom or anything like that, but if we were to touch that 212, I think that's a nice little flush in there. We did average into our AAL position. We'll talk about that when we get back from Brendan. Great trade, great holds there on Snowflake, great hold on Win as well. So let's go over to Brendo at the big screen with happening now. I like ye a lot.
Hey guys, yeah, nice green board to show you. So we get Fed Chair Powell, remember 1 p.m. this afternoon. Biden speaking on the Ukraine-Russia situation right now. So heads up on the market. Nicely green, as I said. So far, 1% for the S&P, the Dow 0.8. The Russell up nicely today as well. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. NASDAQ Composite and the 100 here, 1.3, 1.4. So a bit of a reversal from what we saw this time yesterday. If you joined us in the pre-market, we mentioned obviously Tesla, the big one, kind of choppy. Ms. V and I were just saying back and forth since the open. That move that happened pre-market was the nice one. We get up to 1090, but coming off a little bit, volume already down a bit. Let's go this way and show you AAL fading off nicely. Watch 20.5 there from aftermarket yesterday, guys. Back to you.
I just said under my breath there because someone was talking about Rivian there on the chat. Shout out to everybody there. And, guys, thank you for watching, by the way. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. We are just, El Fuego here today for sure. Rivian down 2% to the downside. Look at this. The carnival, that is Rivian continues. And, again, when you're looking at the kind of damage that Tesla's doing here to the EV space today, it's unbelievable. Like Tesla's put up or shut up, and they're just putting up. All these other guys are shutting up right now. Like just down to the downside right now, Rivian just continues to get cracked here. That 33.30 level of all-time low, I wouldn't really look at that because that's a flushed bottom. But right now, you're going to break 35 to the downside, and it looks like it's going to continue to make moves here. I don't think we have. We have shortable shares. Probably have to go in and buy them, so I will have to look at that. But Rivian right now on any kind of a pop up, like I don't know if we get back to these VWAP levels here, but like the VWAP and the 50 period is exactly the same. I don't normally see that, so I'm wondering if my settings are off, but I think they're fine. 36.50 back to the upside, something like that for a short into Rivian, I think is going to be something that you're going to like. But right now, I know you've got the shorts on. Great job on that. And we're also just cruising with these shorts on Facebook, man. $2.50 in the money now. So what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, we took a bath on the long, and I believe we took a $3 hit or so on some of that. So let's see if we can't cash in on this. My Facebook bid is now slightly under this 199. We still have half the position on, so we've done a pretty good job here of trying to hold on to this. So right now, Facebook cashing in for us. We did do an average in here on AAL because why? It came into that 2050 area. So I'm just sort of licking wounds right now. I think I'm going to take another piece out here as we start to go back up. My average price not great though, 21.14. But hey, we're going to lose on some names, man. And honestly, if this doesn't work out for me on AAL, so be it. I still think they had a great quarter, great numbers, airlines rocking. But right now, maybe, like I said, a little bit of lipstick on this name as it's still up that 7%. Maybe it was a little too excited up there near 21.90. We really like that play, and I hope to hold some in case that does happen. One more time over to Brendan.
Not a good look for the long story this morning anyways, guys. Some of the chip makers back to the downside here. Tech stocks under pressure once again. Big level being tested. Yesterday's low right now on AMD.
Yeah, somebody, I think Ron was mentioning the chart. The chart on AMD was weird. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, the action is all over the place on AMD. It's a spike and then a move back down, and the spike was actually right into resistance. You could argue the strength or the resistance level, but then you look at the daily going, you're in the middle of nowhere, man. Like this could either go, when you're priced like that, you could either shoot up right towards that 98 into the evens, or you could actually go down towards 90. And I think it's difficult. Choose the ones that actually make more sense today.
Wow.
As I say that, there goes Snow. Snow saying, thank you very much to that 185 level as it continues. Now a $5 winner on Snow and still going to the downside. Remember, we've already taken out the one-to-one risk. I was just waiting to see what would happen through these 186s. Now 186 is gone. If we can pull that lower third, guys, 186 is gone. And out, down we go through the bottom.
Yeah, that's okay. They'll get it.
Okay, that's fine. So 186 is 184.80 is now the trade on Snow. It's still moving to the downside. Baba, again, Baba's at that 87 level. Remember, I'm keeping a very close eye on Baba around these 87s because that's the last checkpoint that we need to kind of get past to get going. If we bounce here, I'm going to take some out. I don't want to see. I know there should be some support here. I just don't know where it is. I'm going to let the buy side action tell me where it is. But for the time being, you know, I'm staying a little bit back. But if I start to see some buy side action around these 87s, we're going to pull back, take some out, and lock in. Right now, it's $2.50 in the money. We'll lock in some of that if it bounces back north of that 87.50. So for the time being, recap, as the futures fall back through 44.95, NASDAQ, I believe there was a rotation as well. NASDAQ now only up 1.19. We went as high as 280. Like I said, we still had about 30 points in space to the upside before we hit resistance, and we decided to get just short of that, and now here we are sitting at 14,170 to the downside. It ain't looking too pretty right now, but again, buy-side action is still not done. I don't have enough to go for the future short. I'm just working these equity side positions because the future is not set up to go just yet. So I'll manage these, and at some point, hopefully, we get a setup on the futures as well.
Yeah, I'm going to get a little bit more out here as AAL starting to go back up to the upside. So that's a pretty decent one there for me. We did get a nice bid there. We told you where we were sitting, man, just flushing through that 199. So a good take, man. Me and Arun running these shorts right now on some of these tech names. So good job. But I just went long right now on IBM. IBM, International Buyback Machine. Definitely yesterday. Big movers yesterday for IBM here. You're starting to take out. This is close to, I mean, it's not going to be all-time highs here for IBM. But 52-week highs is 150, so we're not really there yet either. But we've just taken out, obviously, this 140 area. And then what I'm drawing for you back here was yesterday's high of 139.50. So let's just wait to see, man, if some of these new tech names aren't working, hence Snowflake, hence Facebook, some of these other names. Let's see if there's a rotation back in to IBM, who already reported. They had a great number. You see this move up yesterday, man, from 131. I mean, even off of a great print, we closed the day before 128, open up yesterday to 137, come back into 133, and then bump to the day's high, and basically close on, I mean, we didn't close on the day's high. We closed 138.50, but good enough right there. So let's just wait to see what does happen here with IBM. Little nervous, obviously, if this market doesn't turn around because they're still a tech name. So, you know, I don't want to be caught in this for too long, but I think it's worth it back down here to 139.50. So if we're going to try to hold IBM at 140.30 right now, let's see where we can go low if it does come back in. So we want to try to respect that 139.50 level. So I will be a buyer if it does come back in there. Similar to AAL, the kind of damage that we're going to do on that name. Kind of glad we got out of the way of NEO right here. I was kind of like, maybe not when it bumped up right there back. But look at this, man. Sometimes you got to get out of the way. So we did take a trade on that. And then look at the Tesla name. What's up to Elizabeth Goodyear? Thank you for asking me about an area maybe to get out for that. And we talked about Tesla there at 10.75. Right now, you saved yourself $10. It's down to 10.65. Really happy that we are able to get a Tesla. Tesla, my #1 name today. But actually, scratch that right now. It's Facebook, my #1 name, now that I look at it, with the great unrealized that we have on right now as well. But maybe the NASDAQ's going to bounce. Let's take one more piece out here on Facebook.
Let's talk about taking out pieces. I've taken some out of BABA. It's just, at this point, let's lock in some money, right? It's bouncing up. Let's get the charts up, guys. Full screen, no lower third. And this is what you're looking at right here, right? 87 is going to be a problem. You get that bounce. You're like, okay, why should I hold on to this any longer? I can take some profit. It's already on the table. It's like up $2.72, right? Where obviously I got out a little bit higher, so I probably made like $2.40 or so. But at the same time, I'm not going to hold on just for the sake of holding on. I'm going to manage this. So we've taken some out. We've locked in some profit. Now we're letting the rest go. So here we are. We locked in profit on Snow. We've locked in We locked in $4 on half. On BABA, we've locked in about $2.30 or 40 cents on half. We've got Qualcomm up $1.37, Winds up 41, Micron's up 83. Roblox, which I just picked up, by the way, Roblox took that 36 level on the downside. So Roblox is already up 18 cents, and I've got 35.95 short, and still going. So it just took out that 36 even level, looking pretty good. It's probably gonna pull back a little bit. That's expected. But here we are, Roblox down 2.5%. Brendan.
Some of the airlines, including UAL and AAL, as we discussed on Watch this morning. LOVE, guys, back to day highs here. Just tested $50 on a huge volume spike. So Southwest up 5% so far. Delta as well, back to day highs. So travel stocks still leading.
Yeah, I was just looking. Maple Leaf playoff tickets now on sale. Forward to wife right now. So let's see if she can go pick those up as I'm on the show. I think they've probably sold out now. If you don't get in, to get Maple Leaf tickets, you're done. Oh, by the way, Charles Barkley guaranteeing the Maple Leafs win 1 round this year. Great to have an NBA analyst doing that. So, pardon?
No, I was going to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
NBA
Chuck.
analyst.
I love Chuck Barkley, though. So let's just go on this. Okay, CYN. I should never fight these kind of poo stocks because look at CYN right now going to the downside and still coming in. So we try to take that blast there. Now we're going to see about if it holds $2. If it doesn't, we're gone. CYN. I mean, it's I'm not putting. It's similar to like what Arun says, where he doesn't put that much capital into equity positions because looking at futures, CYN there. I don't even have shorts on this name. We talked about that taking out that top there, and we actually did the work and looked back and was saying that this is possibly an area to watch out for right there. So if it gets going, look, we're long right now 18s. We're not going to give up on this. I mean, all it has to do is go back into some of that range again, like this, 30s, 35, something like that, and then we can flat this trade out and then be gone. But for right now, Facebook crack-a-lacking back down to the downside right now. And by the way, check out IBM right now, doing some little dances for us here. IBM went all the way up to 140.70. We just got into IBM at 140.30, so a nice little move. We did take something out at 50. We're going to do that all the time. But right now, IBM still working to the upside. I like that trade for me right here. And then we were emptying out. We talked about that. As AAL comes back up, we did average into that trade. Hopefully it takes off. You talked about LOVE there. Southwest going to the upside. So let's see if that can continue to work for us. And international buyback machines right back to that high. So the reason why we talk about that, they have a big buyback on, and they always do. They give some of their love back to the customer, the shareholder there, as well as, guess the dividend on IBM, Arun?
A lot.
A lot?
A lot is the guess I'm going to go with.
Yeah, it's north of 5. So
Wow.
that's a great dividend here for IBM. I'll have to check the percentage now on this bump up. It might be 4 and change right there. But yeah, dividend. Love IBM. I've been holding this thing for a very long while. It hasn't worked. It's not like it's a great trading vehicle for an investment, but I think they'll work here going forward. Let's make sure that we take another piece out if it comes back up there. IBM, hopefully on its way back. Upside right there. I don't know why it just faded out right there. What's up, Brendo?
Just checking on SWVL Holdings. Sure. Just halted here. SWVL 63% on a volatility halt, guys.
Uh-oh. Volatility halts. We like those. CYN also. Crickets right now for CYN, but let's see if it can get back going up here to 240. We'll see. If it can get back up there, I think it'd be foolish not to take out a little bit of a piece and then just be like, okay, now we're flat because we take a hit on that one of 30 cents. So if we can get this one back, we're long at 18s. If we can get it back up into the 40s, that would be 20 cents. It will make some of that back. So let's just wait to see. My out's going to be just a break of $2, and it is what it is. I'm going to use that even dollar level. I think if it breaks to, I mean, we can hold this to 195. We don't have a big position on anymore, so let's hold this to 195. If CYN breaks that one, 195, then we're going to get out of it. So how is everything going on your shorts? Is there anything else you're looking at? I did want to possibly look at an NVIDIA or an AMD because I did realize also, Arun, those are relatively weak, but your Snowflake and Win and everything coming back in now as the futures. Well, I guess they're kind of bouncing, but a nice move back down here for the NASDAQ.
Yeah, Snow up $5, still up $5 with the spread of 50 cents, and then Win is 70 cents in the money. Roblox is the one coming back in, but I expected Roblox to come back in because this trade just happened, right? So there's no way that it's gonna just, I mean, the odds of it just completely falling off and continuing were very low. So this is expected, so you're expecting a move back up, maybe into the 36.50 or so area. The risk on this isn't too high. I mean, I'm putting up, what am I putting up? $1 and change on this to see whether we actually have extension to the downside. So that's what I'm waiting for Roblox to do. I might even get some more on the way up because I am planning to kind of work the exits here through that 37. Qualcomm bouncing a little bit. Again, Qualcomm's up $1.50, but at the same time, I'm just giving it a chance. Like, can we get to? I have some bids waiting here around these 140s. See if we can't get some exits around the 140, 140 half maybe. It got close. I mean, we got through 141. I'm like, okay, good. This is my chance to get filled. And no, it decided to bounce right back up 50 cents to the upside. So there goes Qualcomm back bouncing off those 141s. But again, we're not chasing after it. We have no reason to. And somebody was asking, Sean, why is Netflix going down? And my question to you is, why should Netflix go up? I mean, there could be justifications for both sides, right? Netflix is trading down, and it's kind of just working the bottom end of the range. It worked the top end of the range. It's in a channel, and you've got to see both sides of it, not just why is it going down? Well, there's clearly some sell-side activity sitting up there in the 225s, and now we're kind of working the bottom end. Like I said, I'm done with Netflix because of what it did off the open. But if we can get through 215 to the downside, we probably take a look at that 212 low. But again, I'm done with Netflix for the most part. But here it is, taking another look at those pre-market lows as it now has broken through 217 and change.
You know what, I'm going to take another piece out here as we have a monster winner on for IBM. I mean, we just punched that long. It doesn't look like it's a monster, but, you know, 40, 50 cents. For me, and again, Arun and I, completely different styles. Again, thank you for watching. I think Arun and I are a pretty decent team. Let me know what you guys think there on the chat as well. And we do look forward to obviously having Neil back. I mean, I was actually telling my wife, Marissa, today, and it was like, oh man, like I love working with Arun, but I feel like it's been long time since I've been with Neil on the desk as well. So I think we make a good couple there. So, all right, let's go to the upside now as, CYN trying to go. We already hit the crickets for that one. I was debating taking some Neil, but as his futures keep coming down, no, we'll pass on that one. And look at Facebook, man. Arun, dab up the shorts. There we go. We had to wait for the camera there. Thanks, guys, for that one because Facebook, down with Facebook right now. Oh, yeah, by the way.
That's a bear.
Yeah, there's the bear.
Bull.
Where's that middle? There it is. This is a bull.
Yep.
And now, this is a bear. So we'll get his arms out and his legs out when we get back from Brendan. Small cap recap. The bears are coming.
Hey guys, yeah, a few to note in small cap land today. We were talking about this SEV over the past couple of days, made a big move to the upside. on the daily chart here. We're testing this 775, 780 again, which was a bit of a level in the pre-market. This thing's wild, though, back and forth. Give you a quick move to the downside initially off the open to 720, but decent volume still coming into SEV, worth a note. This is the one I mentioned right before the open, that red box, RDBX. Gave you the gap fill to where we ended the day yesterday. Let's see what happens. Interest dying off already on this, so might just continue to fade off for RDBX. CYN, yeah, a tough one. I tried it short initially versus the high of the day and then flipped it long, and the long ended up working nicely, but it's stalling out here. 220 to 240 might be levels now that you can use to the downside for CYN, guys. Back over to you.
All right, there goes the market. As much as I have all shorts here, I've got 6 shorts, all of them in the money, the smallest of which is only 37 cents in the only 37 cents in the money is Roblox, by the way. The biggest being Snow at $6.18 in the money. As great as all of that is, man, can I just get a futures trade, please? I'd like a futures trade to get on the short side of this. We were working the zone. I was like, set it up, set it up, set it up, and then no setups. So, we're here. I'm waiting. Just give me something. Give me something to work with. Something around here inside of this, this orange area here, the orange zone here, because I am cashing out on the way. So we've cashed out Baba, we've cashed out Snow, some of which I'm waiting for Qualcomm to get going closer to that 140. That's still got, maybe 60, 70 cents to go before I get filled. Win needs to get going. That's only 63 cents of the money. Hasn't really gotten going much. Win kind of just going back and forth. It heard Sean, and then it heard me, decided to go up, decided to go down, and Win is, just flirting with that 77 and doesn't want to commit to either side here. So Win, just make up your mind. Are we going up or are we going down? Am I making some money off this or am I not? So just back and forth. As we got through 78, it's just back and forth trading here. If we can finally get going through 77, this might actually get going to the downside regardless of what the market does. So Roblox, though, like we said, Roblox was going to take some time. Turns out that I was completely wrong on Roblox that it was going to take some time because Roblox decided that, you know what, we bounced enough. We bounced 17 cents. That's enough. Now it goes 50 cents in the money, 40 cents in the money.
It's all-time low.
Yeah, it broke some lows. It broke that 36. I just saw 36. I'm like, that's a multi-day low.
Yeah, that was because I was talking with my kid yesterday there because he's like, oh, I got wrecked on Roblox. And I'm like, bro, why did you even bother to punch out of that thing? He punched out near that bottom. And I said, didn't you zoom out? That was the low there of 36. So yesterday, what a tale of 2 days, obviously, as yesterday. I don't know. I wonder if my Roblox trade will. Yeah, it is. It's going to show up right here. So look, this is me on Roblox yesterday. Let the anarchy come through here on Roblox yesterday. We saw that nasty, nasty move to the downside. And then I was like, okay. We'll take that off of 35.80, which was the all-time low. So we hit that, and we wound up making $1 right back up to 37 bucks before getting out of the last piece at 36.80 there. But yeah, Roblox today, great move there, Arun, to the downside here as it's just trying to spit a hot fire downside there to 35.50. Yeah, we're really cruising here as well. We got a great out there for us on Facebook. It's too bad you won't do the trade of the day, Arun, because you have some great ones. But I already know what mine's going to be, man.
Tesla?
And it's just. Tesla's a good one. Yeah, I like the Tesla one. I'm going to go with Facebook, man. We're $4 in the money, and we just took a 450 print right there down to 197.37 was my best fill. So you're starting to drip down. I wish we hadn't gotten out so much there at the beginning, but that's always my story. I got to get that fixed up, and that's the one thing here about Arun, my man over here, is like he's like, oh, I want to get into a future short. I would look at the futures and be like, it's almost too late to get in the short, but on a bigger look, man, that's what we're here for. Great analysis there. Let's throw it over to Brendan for some more. Ms. V.
Hey, Sean, I want to give a big shout out to Dominic Familar of Senegas Super Chat, bringing SWVL halted at 8.02. So SWVL doesn't have any significant news yet. It's 45 million free float. So if you want to take a look, and we 88% up on the day for SWVL. And also, guys, if you just joined us, I remind you, please like this video, help us to get 2,000. We still have more than 6,000 people watching, so we would really appreciate your support. Back to you guys.
Like, I'm trying to learn as well here, Dominic, and shout out to you about that. And thank you for the super chats, my man. SWVL, sorry about your Bucks, sorry about my Raptors, but the Packers this year probably win the Super Bowl. Oh,
Who's
God.
going to win the Super Bowl? Pack?
Don't worry about what I said there. I mean, I own the Packers, so it's kind of like I don't know if I should talk about my. It's like Elon Musk coming out of nowhere and just talking about Tesla. That's kind of the relationship that I have with the Packers.
Keep living that dream, Sean. Keep living that dream. One day the Packers will win it again.
Yes, Arun. Yes, Arun. Thank you for that. Okay, but this is what I don't understand. Like, what is exactly the difference between an SWV here, SWVL, and a CYN? Obviously, SWVL just coming public, so share size is going to be an issue. But yeah, like great. Monsters moves up only 1 million shares. Not really going to be something that I trade. I mean, obviously, if you are going to be long this name, you got to watch out for this $10.50, $11 area. But yeah. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. That's 3 halts, I believe. 1 halt, 2 halts, and now we're into the 3rd halt. So 1 halt there, 2 halts there. This is now the 3rd halt to the upside. And again, I don't know, Dominic, man. Congratulations for that one. But yeah, down to 450. I love to know that about this down here. And again, it's just like some halt, then come right back down, right? And so this is a nice little halter to the upside. And right now, just to give you it, because you gave us the super chat right there, 842 is the tap. So that's theoretical auction price. When it opens back up, you should get an 840 or so open right now. We'll see when that does come through. Okay. Just talking about CYN. Okay, I'm reloaded. We take a 2-bid on this thing right now. It's going to be nasty for me, but we're long at 09. Let's see if it can get back up. Obviously, we have double the position now. We actually have the same amount of shares that we had, so same shares. We're not putting on extra risk here or anything like that. I don't believe it's going to hold $2, but hopefully it does. And I mean, when you're trading these names that really have smaller catalysts to them, that have already moved around, that are doing upside volume and are doing upside moves, this is really going to be a crapshoot in my opinion anyways. So I'm just going to try to play technicals. And if we break this 195, then I'm gone. Otherwise, we'll see if we can take a piece out here, especially if it gets back up to this VWAP area. We'll take a sum out, and then that will put us right back into where we need to be. So we're going to watch out for that. IBM, by the way, puke central, but we're out. That went up to 141 there. I mean, that was a good trade for us. Now we'll see about getting the rest out here as it's come back in. So that's IBM, not looking super strong right now, and I'm not really sure why that name turned around. So I'm debating just getting out if it breaks back down through 140 here, watching out for this 139.90 on IBM, and Shopify 52-week lows.
Yeah, a lot of individual names that were doing well have now started to bounce. Qualcomm, remember that one? I was like, man, can we get to 140? Then I can get some out. And then we were struggling with that 141. I was just like, at this point, it's not helping. That 141 is not helping the situation. So I took out some in front of that 141.5, moved the trail stop, so that in the event that we were actually just going to go right back into range trading on Qualcomm, I'm making money on this, right? This is the concern now, is that because of the way it's moving around, it could easily just chop up into a range. So we made $1.50 on half of it, and we're going to make probably 30 or 40 cents on the rest of it in the event that it comes right back up above 142.5. And let me just pull Qualcomm. So we'll just leave that one as is. I've moved the trail. I don't need to do anything else at this point. I thought we get a chance. The way it was moving, it had a real good chance of going. I guess we're not gonna get that acceleration. I see everyone talking about Netflix. Yes, Netflix is at that 215 mark.
Is it?
Yeah, it's at 215. The low is 214 and change. The low from yesterday was 212 half.
Pretty much.
Right. So I mean, we're not that far away to see the lows. So good luck to you guys, because I made my read, and now to trade Netflix, the next time I would probably jump on board is if we were to take 210.
Crap.
I'm not even going to touch this until 210 because I want to see what we have below 212 half, and then if we can get some trading done, then towards that 210. But I'm not touching it until that point because there could easily just be enough buy-side action here that could bounce it back. So that's my concern with Netflix, not touching it. We're going to leave it alone.
Bro, on Netflix there, that's what my kid says now. Bro, come see this. To me, his dad, but that's fun. So right there, yeah, Netflix, I was bidding $213.50. I talked about that in the pre-market. I didn't even realize it was coming down there. I was looking at IBM. Obviously, I've averaged into AAL. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so that missed me by 50 cents, man. And then it went go right to the upside. I'm pulled that now. That wasn't the capitulation bottom or anything like that I thought we may see. So I want to see a for sure flush. So good call on that one. I'm actually going to call up Netflix here and just keep it on one of my other screens. If you guys have this shot, if you have a shot that you can do for my screen here, just because Neil, myself, Arun, Brendan, all of us, we don't just simply use the charts that we're showing you right here. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so over here, I have different level 2s up here that I'm trying to watch. Let's go like this. Right on this stock right here. And then up here, I also have, that's perfect, guys. I also have hot lists and, okay, good one. Yeah, you don't have to zoom in that much. That's great. Right here, that's that. And then Arun has something similar as well. So what you see is this screen, and then everything else we have. Yeah, good job. Yeah, perfect, guys. Thanks so much for that. That's great. Love the camera work here now, man. We've definitely invested a lot of money. Thanks to Mark. Thanks to Lucas. Thanks to Fahad for setting this all up, man. Great shots for us for sure. Thank you so much, guys, for that. All right, so we've averaged into AAL. So I basically just said right now, if you look at this chart here, is this a bottom? We're about to find out. So we take more shares in AAL. We were licking wounds down here, man. We are negative on American Airlines. So this is not like, oh man, we've traded it so well today. We have not. We thought this VWAP break was going to send it back to day's high. That didn't happen. And then we had to get some out on a 21 break. Then we averaged in at 2070. And there it is. I mean, even as we're talking, it rips up and fills me there at 95. So we get something out there at 95 on the 50 period. We just bought this back at 85. So let's see if we can get back to VWAP, which will basically flat me on the name today. What's up, Brendo?
Well, Canadian-based cannabis stock. We were talking about cannabis stocks in the pre-market there with Raheem, up 22% here. INM on the NASDAQ, just announcing the expansion of portfolio on the health side of cannabinoid products. So big volume coming into INM, worth a note. Let's get a check on how things in Europe are shaping up. There's an hour left in the session over there. Miss V, what's happening?
Hey, Brandon, positive earnings boost European markets to the upside for the second straight session, with engineering company ABB trading in Switzerland up more than 5% on a sharp rise in orders in the first quarter. Back to you.
Yeah, nice. Well, I mean, we're trying here, guys. Anyway, still holding up 0.9 for the S&P.
Yeah, the NASDAQ just took out the 50 period actually as well. That's... My layout didn't save. I was like, why is oil showing 0%? KM? M, right. Okay. So there it is there. Good guess. 2.73% now. Oil moving up to 105 right now. So we haven't really been looking at too many names. For me, my favorite name to trade, and we've actually done quite well on it when we do look at it. Bye-bye AAL, by the way. Nice little move to the upside is Oxy. But you can see right now Occidental Petroleum kind of just right now, not doing a lot. So we'll take a look at this. Oil is coming back down, so you can watch out for that. There goes AAL taking off to the upside, back up. Ooh, no, I thought it was more than that. I thought it broke 21 there. Did it? No, it didn't. So hopefully we can break 21. But either way, man, getting elevated on this position. IBM. We just took another 25 cents on that name. Sorry, we're long at 35. We just took a 50 out, so 15 cents, now 25 cents in the money as it just went back up to 60. Let's see if IBM can get into this range. We're going to offer some more shares at 140.90-ish. Let's go 140.85 or so, right into here. If it does rip up, we want to be sitting there. Facebook tried to go up there. Again, stupid me, man. We should have reloaded that short when it went up into this level again, because that's a level that we like. But now it's coming back in, man. The NASDAQ staying strong and Facebook getting clapped one more time. So nice little downside move. I'm going to put a bid right here, 197.50, to get out of some more shares here on FB as it's coming right back down again.
As it moves up, somebody was asking, or Dominic actually was mentioning SWVL. Quick look here. I'm just looking at anytime you're wondering what's the halt situation on SWVL.
It's not open yet?
No, it halted at 10:31:55. So we're looking at 5 minutes from there.
Oh.
So 10:36:55.
It halted again.
Yeah, it's been halting all morning.
Right, now I know.
That and WBEV has been halting all morning. So just take a look at this, guys, if you need help figuring out what time it's going to open it. Usually it's 5, sometimes it goes to 10-minute halts.
I kind of want to rant here about this again, because honestly, get yours together. I don't understand why, this is allowed to happen like this. And I get that it's circuit breakers, and I like that it halts. It lets the stock settle down and figure itself out. But honestly, it's like, what is, Brendan, maybe you could update me on this one more time, because like the short float on this, not the short float, sorry, the shares outstanding are probably ridiculously low. And it's just like, this is what's going to happen. And it's just a game that's being played here. But congratulations to anybody that's on this game, because right now it's definitely working out. I'm going to get some shortable shares on this name. I'm going to assume they're not. I don't even want to throw an order out right now to test it, because it might get filled on the short side right now. But Facebook, yes, sir. $4 clap to the downside right now goes FB, man. Big time movement to the downside here, just taking out some of these lows again. We should have looked at AMD, but right now Facebook to the downside. I'm going to go log in, Arun, and find out. I'm not even going to ask you if you want shortable shares, because I already know the answer. So I'm going to go find out how much this is going to cost traders here at Day Trade the World to short this SWVL, because honestly, at some point, it's going to come crashing back down, and we definitely want to make sure that we have that, because if you zoom back out, we're already right here, man. We're already at these highs. And the only real risk is going short and then having the tap blow up against you again. So like if you thought like this was a short, that 690, you pretty much wouldn't have been able to get out for less than a $2 hit. So you got to watch out for that. I'm going to find out. I believe that was a call for Brenda. What's up with this SW?
It's actually not that small as far as the float goes, guys. About 45 million free float on this one. Also worth mentioning, it's one of those crazy movers that also has warrants that are still trading. So SWVLW on our system, guys, for the warrants.
Oh, I can trade that? Okay, well then maybe I don't even need to pay for shorts here, because the warrants, I'm not going to need that. So let's just go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking at the warrants real quick. John, I see you mentioning shop a few times. I'm not trading this. No way I'm touching this. No, thank you. This is, it's a crazy move. It's down 2.8%. And it looks like it's finding a base around that 500. Next look would have to be that 500, but based on the way it's trading, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get a position on shop here, because of how thin it is and how much it's already moved, right? So like I would have liked it maybe if I was willing to put up the risk. I was not, by the way. Shop is just, some names, you avoid them because of the risk profile, because it's volatile. Like I avoid above a certain price. And then there's some names that are actually priced lower, but move the same way as if they were $1,000 or so. And Shop's one of those names where you take a 524 break, the low of yesterday, and then you got to put up like north of 540 for the risk. It's like, that's pricey. I just can't do it with that. But we're going to leave that one aside. The ones that I do have to worry about are BABA, which remember, we cashed out some here around these 87 halves, and it's starting to bounce now. And this is what I was worried about off those 87s. That's why I cashed out some where I did. The trail stop is north of 89. If it gets north of 89, we'll take our remaining 90 cents and walk away from BABA. So I've protected that one. Snow, I've done the same thing on Snow, actually. Snow is, right now it's $4.84 in the money. We're locking in a couple bucks here. If it gets north of 188 and change, I'll walk away with that. Take $2, call it a day on Snow. Well, less than $2, call it a day on Snow. So that's locked in as well. So that short is good. Qualcomm was the other one that I took profit on. Remember, we took some out in front of these 141 halves because I was worried about it. If it breaks through 142 half, we're done. We'll take our 30 cents there, walk away. So those three are good. The other ones that are in the money but not, unprotected or haven't moved enough for us to move stops there is Micron and Win. Micron up 46 cents, Win up 9 cents. So haven't gone enough to do anything with it, so we'll leave that one aside. Roblox, again, remember it was up, it was down, now it's down 10 cents or so. That story's not done yet. And then we also picked up some shorts in DocuSign as well. That one is out 34 cents as we shorted just underneath that 92 even level. So we are sitting on 7 shorts right now at the moment, and just waiting for this market to get going. Brendan is at the big screen, I believe, with what's happening now.
Hey guys, positive, but a bit of a mixed board to show you here. We are up 0.87, as we said, on the overall market. This is what the board typically looks like when we get a lot of companies reporting. So earnings, first off, travel, UAL, AAL were the ones that reported here, 11.5%, 7%. But all of the airlines here nicely in positive territory. LOVE Dow, we mentioned. Alaskan even up 3% on the day. So travel seeing a lot of strength. There's Norwegian, Expedia, CCL, even Pool 6.5% back to the upside. So industrial is having a nice day, back in positive territory after a couple of days to the downside. There are a few negative names, obviously, but offset by travel names and then some. To the upside, banks are very strong as well. So individual banks and insurance companies leading right now. There were a few minor reports in that group as well, but basically the entire financial sector in positive territory. Mentioned Nucor, 8.7% in positive territory for NUE. FCX the other direction after their report wasn't as great, 5.7% to the downside. So very, very mixed board for material stocks today, but a few noteworthy names. That's Netflix, wanted to point it out, 4.9% in the red once again. But if you focus on some of the travel names or both the airlines, I wanted to say, and cruise lines, positive territory. But Tesla, the big one, obviously 8% down there, but 0.84 guys for the S&P. Back over to you.
Okay, yeah, Nucor. Wow, I mean that. You want to talk about a stock that we've done really, really well on, and I mean, I feel so stupid for selling a third of this one. I don't feel stupid, but selling a third, well, kind of at 148 or whatever I sold this name at. This is just another classic example of getting diversified, right? I own AbbVie. We own Eli Lilly, and then I mean, most of my holdings are in tech, so that's 100% true. But look at these levels down here at 95. And I'm going to give a shout out to Austin and some of you other traders that I know were messaging me about Nucor when we were buying this. And again, you guys always at me on Twitter. It's great. I don't have a problem talking about that. But right down into here, man, we were buyers at 95 here, buyers again here, buyers again here. But then when we started taking out some of these 130, 140, 150 levels, we did get some out. And then now it's all the way up to 185. So Nucor, in just a matter of, I mean, I was going to say I'll probably log in after this and take some more out, but, $93, pigs get slaughtered, but yeah, $93 there, up to 185 from February. So big move in Nucor. The steel name just continues to work. So why would we get out of it, I guess, is really the question. Your Netflix, Arun, coming back down to that 214.50 area. So that's trying to get clapped out a little bit. Tesla, again, we got some good outs up here. Like, obviously, we wish they were in the 80s, but we did let this fly a little bit. Our best out is that 1080 break off of this bottom that we had right there of 1062. So now you're trying to hold back into 1050. Tesla, very, very interesting there again. I apologize. I heard Elizabeth Goodyear talking or messaging there about how, we got to find out these highs and lows and then trade them appropriately, so on and so forth. But it's like, honestly, we can't see everything, and that would have been a great bid down there at 1053. So if that comes again, something to look at. CYN, interesting enough, man, it just bounced back to 09, which is my price. So I did take out a quarter of that trade there at 09. Not only was that my price, but that's also where the 50 period is, and we got to get work done past this level here. So I'm still offering my next offers, believe it or not, is in here 36. So I'm willing to let this thing go up, but at the same time, we're just getting back to average price now. So we took a hit on that first trade right there, and now we're averaged in on these two. So I don't know if it's going to go, and I didn't want to give it back down to 195 and then give up that 15 cents. And like you said, Elizabeth, it's all going to be depending on the amount of shares that you guys trade. We're a prop firm here, so we're trading firm capital, so we can really, if we want to, upsize these trades quite a bit. So we'll watch out for CYN here coming through, but so far so good on that one. A good take out for IBM as we got a 70, but now it's right back up to the day's high here for International Business Machines. And yeah, we had another winner on this one, man. Today's been such a great day. So I hope all you guys are trading with us. The only loser I have on board really is NIO. And I'm pretty happy that we got out of the way here because this could have been a day killer if I had still been in this name. NIO definitely to the downside here today. Misread that trade. Thought that they'd be strong on Tesla and quite the opposite as they're not strong at all. And by the way, CYN. I mean, I just talked about this. And I got out of a quarter of it, and then it drips down, and then we get out of the rest. So there it is, out of CYN. That's actually going to be, it's not, I lost more on NEO because of, again, more confident in trading some of those names than this. But there goes CYN. Now the volume's starting to pick up, and it's a monster sell. So now I don't look too stupid, I guess, getting something out there at 09, even though it was only a quarter. But the hit's not as bad as obviously it could have been if I didn't. So CYN to the downside, man, I don't have good luck with these stocks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing
My
just fine.
bad.
I'm just leaving these alone, but I think the interesting one here is SWVL, the one that was halted. It was a 10-minute halt, not a 5. Decided it was going to go for 10 minutes instead of the 5. Remember, right before we halted, closing price 980. Opening price 980. Instant halt to the downside because it decided it wants to halt at 882. And the projected open, if you guys can even see this here, let me get this up, FWVL, 769 as of right now. If they go for another 10-minute halt, obviously this is going to, okay, moved up to $8 now. But again, it's going to be at least, it seems like 50 cents below where it did close, and it's not even close to being open just yet. So these numbers will change quite a bit as we get closer to that opening point. But it ain't looking too pretty because that was 1, 2, 3 halts to the upside, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe more?
4. It was 4 because it was 3 when I was looking at it.
Okay, so 4 halts to the upside.
Did it come back down?
Yeah. It halted right to the downside. As soon as it opened, it decided it wants to move down and halted to the downside. So, and now it's projected to open about, as of right now, it's supposed to open about 80 cents below where the halt was. So for anyone involved in this, man, good luck to you guys, because that is excitement that I cannot handle. I'd rather just sit back and watch these positions go, because for me now, Snow, $6.50 in the money, Baba, $2 in the money, Qualcomm, $1 in the money, Micron, 40 cents, Win, 56 cents, DocuSign, 70 cents, and then Roblox at 12 cents. But Roblox is probably going to be an all-day type of situation on that one. Yeah. So as long as it gets going, remember Qualcomm, Baba, and Snow, we've cashed in. Those are the biggest winners, and they've moved enough to cash in. DocuSign hasn't moved enough to cash in. Win is just not letting go. Win just needs to get going. This is Win. Let's lose that 77. As soon as we can lose 77, we can get going. But Win doesn't want to do that. It wants to flirt with 77.50, so I'm like, okay, fine, we'll wait, I guess. Micron doing the same thing as well. Doesn't want to get below that 73 even to get going. That means I got to wait a little bit more to actually work this trade as well. So for those two trades, waiting, and then Roblox probably all day, and then the rest of it, like I said, DocuSign. But again, the big one, or I guess the big story, if you're not on Tesla, you're probably on Netflix. Netflix now at 213.
Yep.
We're about 70 cents from yesterday's low. And
this is that 3-day rule, man.
yeah, and I mean, my whole thing is, what is 210 going to bring? 210, I want to see what it brings, because if it's going to be a false break of 210 back up, there could be a long. If they actually get underneath 210 and then there's a secondary run to the downside as the futures just falls now 10 points and accelerating actually. I wonder if something came out. What is it, 1047? No, it can't be. I don't know any releases. But anyways, it decided to fall 10 points in the last, well, no, 5 points in the last 5 minutes or so. Here we are moving to the downside. I'm short, so hey, let's go, futures. If you want to go, go, but at least give me a trade to go with it. It's not there just yet. We might be getting into a trade soon. Probably midday, I might figure out a trade on the futures on the short side as well, but it's not ready just yet.
No, he's keeping that in the fridge, not pulling it out yet on the futures there. So just a trade alert, very, very small one, man. We were just going to test that 290 on Softy, and then when it gave up the day's low, we were gone. So small hit. We did not put on big risk into that trade whatsoever because of the market movement. We just thought that, hey, we would test that 290. It was a hold there on the NASDAQ, on Microsoft, and now no more. So downside moves. And again, I'm not going to dab up anymore with Arun, but these shorts are just really printing, man. And I'm so glad that we switched up our game today and just held this Facebook short to the downside and actually just doubled it up and then just was like, no way. Let's see what happens here at that 200 level. And it's just giving it up, man. Like maybe that research report is right. We'll see about Meta's revenue coming through there. Maybe it's going to be absolutely horrible right now. And I think, Alan, great talk there on the chat. And I just saw it as I look up right now, and I feel like this is the ultimate rule all the time. What's up, Alan Newton? Trade your own book and your own levels, right? Yep. I mean, and also Pro Day Trader, what's up? Another good friend of the show here, and Lone Sophos, everybody here. The trend is your friend, guys. Like, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Play the trend, watch out what's going on with the futures, and just try to hold out, man, if you can, on some of these trades. Like, you're going to get lucky, and this is what we do. I play relative strength. Like, IBM's $1 in the money. Well, it was $1 in the money up here. Actually 90 cents when I went to 141.20. But I'm trying to hold out a little bit on this. I do now have an offer to get out of this name, but as you can see, man, just starting to crack lower on everything. And there it is. AAL takes it out, so that stock, again, a little bit beat up today for me. Only 2 negative stocks. We tried AAL long and we tried NEO long, and then CYN, small hit on that one, but definitely a loser on CYN as well. So yeah, right now, stocks going to the downside and picking up like with vigor, man. Netflix downside right now. Netflix, by the way, just taking out yesterday's low. So this is another area where, hey man, if you're interested in Netflix, it's coming down in. I feel like it's going to test that 200, and it's just pouring on right now to that downside. And I don't know where there's going to be some relief, man. We were hoping for that like swipe down bottom, so now we can watch it. We've taken out 212. This is exactly, by the way, what we had on our sticky note was no levels for Netflix. Just watch what it was going to do at yesterday's bottom. So we're here. Did we make a new bottom? I don't know. That's 212.31. Be foolish not to test it a little bit maybe now as Netflix bleeding to the downside. We'll have a look at this, but there's only 10 minutes left in the day, which is quite remarkable. It's been a crazy day. Man, this went by fast. It's Brendan at the big screen with Money Talks.
Brought to you by the small exchange, guys. They're making it so easy to get involved in futures tradings with small standard sized contracts. There's lower capital involved than equity, and there's no PDT rule at all. So make sure you check out thesmallexchange.com. Use a QR code. It's right in the bottom of the screen there. Thanks to the Small Exchange. Here we go. The US dollar back to the downside ever so slightly. That's Bitcoin. I'll talk about it in a second. But US dollar back to the downside ever so slightly. The euro making moves higher today on more chatter about interest rate hikes coming, or more interest rate hikes coming in the EU as well. So back in the red here, 0.06 for the DXY. Right at 100, the euro positive. Everything else a little bit red on the day. Bitcoin, however, 2.5% higher so far. I mentioned this morning, nice move back above 42,000 right there, trying to hold basically back in the middle of the range. We had a couple of great guests on yesterday. You can go back and watch it once again, talking about Bitcoin basically being stuck in a range. And if you look at it on a daily chart, you can see we're right back in the middle. So 42,000, a bit of a pivot there for Bitcoin. Ethereum 1.8, Ripple on here still. I don't know why, but 0.75, guys. So a nice move for cryptos today. Back over to you.
Cryptos. Yeah, the tokens. We talked about a couple other names there yesterday, Solana. And you can go back and check it. I think it was, it was 245 or so yesterday when we talked from, what was it? It's LiquidNet. What's the company? Liquid Meta. Yeah, I got Meta on the mind there. So Liquid Meta there. Great guest, talks crypto all the time with us. So if you did want to look at that, yesterday, 245, check our afternoon show. Should be well posted there on our YouTube page, which, by the way, Arun, we're getting closer and closer to that 300,000. I believe we're around 291,000 subs. So if you guys like the material, we're on all day. So get ready after this in approximately 7 minutes. It's almost exactly, not approximately. We will be throwing over there to Trader Prad and Miss V that'll be hosting our midday show. And then Arun and I will be back at 2 o'clock. As just quickly before I go to Brendan, I'm working with a new trade here, and that's going to be AMD. I'm not in it yet. I'm trying to wait patiently. I just want to take a 92.50 break. That's basically been the bottom of the day. That wick, obviously, actually, I don't know if that wick happened or not. No, it didn't. So 92.50 is the bottom of the day here for AMD. So we're going to watch out for that one coming through. 92.50, a break to the downside. I like it. And then, hey, if it doesn't work, fine, we'll get out of this if it breaks back through 93. But I'm looking at this 50 period, so maybe 93.40, 93.50 is a level there for me as well. If we don't get this short, we'll average into it and see if we get a short up there. But Brenda, what's up, bud?
A little drone maker, RCAT, we've talked about it before, RCAT, just popping up here on huge volume, guys, apparently coming up on Fox Business. The CEO is going to be on Fox Business, so catching a bit of a bid. While I have you, let's get a look at what's to come tonight and before the open tomorrow, guys, for earnings.
Ooh,
Snapchat,
Nelly.
that ghost in the middle. You know I like my ghosts, but Snapchat's going to be an interesting one to watch for sure.
Do you like ghosts? Like, is that?
No, I just remember last time I said I just wanted to, be like a ghost.
Yeah,
Neil comes back.
Got it.
Disappeared, whatever. Yeah.
By the way, right now, Snapchat, they're going to be in deep, deep trouble. They're probably dead tomorrow on that. So we'll see if they beat up on more social media names. I don't know. But I don't mind Snapchat. Look at Snapchat coming to the downside. Might be a good short even right now. By the way, What's up now, Facebook? What the heck just happened to you? We are in an $8 winner now on Facebook, as it is like, what? Like that just took down this 195 and said, okay, see you later on that. So wow, Facebook definitely getting clapped down to that downside. Netflix also, man, I mean, I can't get into everything, but Netflix also some downside moves. AMD, we're into that name. Just wondering why though, that move there on Facebook. But yeah, AMD bouncing here, a little violent. I don't really like what just happened there to AMD. On that move down in the NASDAQ, I feel like it should have continued that move. Little cautious, throwing a little caution to the wind here on AMD there. But we're short, it's fine. Not getting out of it, but we will try to get something if it does flush one more time. I do have, again, a decent sized position now as my first one of the day here on AMD. NASDAQ, didn't think I'd say this again today, and I didn't think I'd say it yesterday, but 14,000 looking closer than we had ever thought here today as the NASDAQ back down to lows. And like me and Arun will always keep saying, man, there's always more to come. Like, just because you think that, you know, this is a downside move right now, this could get lower, and it could get lower real fast. So watch out here. Did you play off that ES45?
No, I haven't played off. No, I haven't gotten a chance to get into anything on the futures, but I wanted to address Scott Crane's super chat.
Sure.
So there's only ever 4 contracts on the futures, right? There's always quarterly contracts. So you have the March, you have the June, you have the September, and you have the December. The only time you ever are not trading the front month contract or the current contract is that day after rollover. Is that, you know, the week before expiration, the Thursday night is a rollover, then Friday is the day where you're kind of, you know, like in between 2 contracts. So you'll see me every single time I talk about it. It's like I hate these days because the volume splits between the 2 contracts. So those are the only day. That's the only one day that I don't trade the front month, right? Where the front month rolls over, but the volume hasn't. So I'll stay on the previous contract until the Monday, and then I'll roll over to the brand new one. So the current contract on the NASDAQ is the M2, which is the June contract, and that's the only one right now. So you've got the June, you got the September. September's got next to no volume, which is expected until we get close to rollover, where September volume will pick up. But for the time being, June is the only contract available that has volume, that has size, and that's the only one you really should be trading. Trade for front month, except for the day after rollover, where you can choose whichever one you want to trade, right? For that one day, for that one Friday, choose whichever one, because the volume is equal on, usually equal on that day. But apart from that, you can choose whichever one you want, but trade the front month most of the time, or all the time, because that's the only one really available. Finally, we got going on Win. Win taking that 77 out. Okay, Win, I see you. We can get going to the downside. Win going through 77. We've got Snow in a $9 winner. We've got Baba in a $2.40 winner. Qualcomm $1.75. It's almost like Oprah. You get $1. You get $1. You get $1. And Snow, you get $10 or $9 in this case. But that's kind of the situation right now as these stocks are falling apart. Again, going back to the comment about the trend is your friend, but also be aware if you're running into resistance that the trend can change. Be aware of that. Respect the trend in the long term, but be aware of the headwinds that you may deal with. And if you were to come into the day, and this is my whole thing, right? If you were coming to the day and you saw this kind of movement to the upside, you're like, oh, the trend is to the upside. But be aware, and that's why I have these regions marked off, that there's going to be some action in here that's going to be a problem. And that's why I was working on the short side as we were working through the range. Trend is your friend, but be aware of the headwinds that you're running into. Ms. V.
Hey guys, thank you so much for starting this trading day with us. I hope you're on the profitable territory. And remind you, please like this video. We need just 200 more likes to get 2,000. And of course, join Prada and me right after to continue. And happy National Tea Day, everyone.
I do like my tea, but not like that, though.
What is that tea?
It's British. It's probably like orange pekoe with a little bit of milk.
Milk or cream or something.
Or,
I don't know.
cream.
I mean, I don't know who puts cream in tea, but that almost looks like a butternut squash soup or something
It's
like that.
proper tea, Sean. We don't know anything about
proper.
proper tea. We don't know anything about that.
No, I don't know anything about that. You know what I have? I only drink tea when I got a sore throat, and I get that lemon ginger good there.
Yep.
And thank you to Ms. V for that as well, as she hooks that up all the time. So yeah, man, revenge is a dish best served cold. We just tweeted that out because Facebook right now, although it's coming back up right now, that was a good short for us, man. And again, it doesn't matter until you cash it out. So let's wait to see here what happens with Facebook. Maybe a 195 take there, and we'll get out of that. But that was a great dump down into 193. So just watching out for this Facebook. We've had to average into our AMD as that just ripped up there a little bit, as the NASDAQ did bounce off 14,060 there. So that's going to be something to watch out for as well here, AMD, so on and so forth as we go. So, hey, man, what a great show. Again, thank you to Arun for coming through. Thank you to all of our traders as well watching us. And, you know, if you can, please hit that like button. We'd like to get to 2K. You know, we just want to tell the YouTube algorithm that we are the best out there. So if you can help with that, thank you so much. But yeah, great show. We're back at 2 o'clock, but everything's just about to get better for everybody because we're going to the midday show. Kill him, Prad. Kill him, Ms. V. Let's go.
Welcome to the Midday Show, also known as Market Movers. I'm your host, Trader Prad, with the beautiful Miss V.
Thank you, Prad. What an exciting day, guys. Tesla earnings and many more things are happening in the market. I hope you're in a profitable territory. Please, as usual, be active on the chat. Ask us anything and like this video, Prad.